Topic change.
All right, let me check this out. Doing true level. Oh yeah.
Yes, this is basic geometry. Your flat Earth geometry. Flat Earth geometry. This is basic geometry.
It is.
I called you a flat earther.
My name's Ramsey.
Insisting that your flat Earth geometry will work.
I'm familiar with the bubble, Morty. I also dabble in precision, and if you think you can even approach it with your sad naked caveman eyeball in a bubble of air, you're the reason this species is a failure, and it makes me angry.
Did he say a five-sided square question mark?
You're a universal horizontal waterer.
You're drunk.
I called you a flat earther.
You want to experience true level? Do you? Yes. You want to experience true level?
That auto level is establishing a horizontal. That's just the way it is.
Because I've done the test with an auto level, which gives you a horizontal.
Yeah, it's gonna look super flat.
All right, come on. Wow, it's so.
Three coplanar points.
Oh Christ! Yeah, true level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
If enter into math, there's a certain shape where you could make a five-sided square.
Are you suggesting that horizontal can't curve?
Oh, everything's crooked. Reality is poison. I want to go back. I hate this.
What's his deal?
Shh. Morty. Go to school, Summer. I'll go on Morty's memory and do a little.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe. And he eventually just gave up and said, yeah, I agree, it's a globe.
Geodesic is a continuous string of infinitely small, straight lines.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
It's really flat and level now.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
Lance to the cosmic slaughter! Well? You seem to be in charge of what I get to remember. Why? Good question.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
I'll go on Morty's memory and do a little.
Burn right to the ground in pieces. But from the ashes come.
Wow, it's so. Oh my God! Oh Christ! Yeah, true level, bitch.
If enter into math, there's a certain shape where you could make a five-sided square.
Ranty, come on, that's a globe.
Yeah, true level, bitch. Wow, it's so. Oh my God! Oh Christ! Yeah, true level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
True level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
True level, bitch.
I called you a flat earther.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
Person to think.
When you get to the end of this test and you have a result and you say level is horizontal and everyone says big whoop, that doesn't prove anything about the shape of the earth, will you then say yes it does?
No.
No, okay, I'm going to bed. Alright.
Okay, so you...
I'm going to bed.
That level is horizontal is good for you then, right?
I agree level's horizontal.
Sweet!
Right,
true level, bitch.
Perfect.
Wow.
Nice, mate. I came
Nice.
in just for that. You flipped it, man.
Yeah, true level, bitch.
And
What
we are live. Welcome everybody. This is Free for All Friday, and straight into it. Go ahead, guys. It is free for all. We've got Alpha here. He's been here all day. They were just hot into a new topic. Take it away.
The new topic is why depressed and lonely people go into discords, to a certain group's discord, and find entertainment at laughing at their misunderstandings. And I was asking this fine gentleman what we don't misunderstand, and he said, well, for instance, elevation. And I said, well, vertical change from mean sea level, and he agreed that's what it is. And I said, well, it seems like we do understand it. And he said, not everyone here, and that's kind of where we are. So I'd like to know, who do you think here doesn't understand that simple concept that we've taught people? Go ahead.
Bev doesn't.
Go ahead, Bev.
Bev doesn't what?
He says you don't
already,
understand.
Rakia.
He says you don't understand elevation.
Yeah. We've already been over that all today. We have been talking about the new modern elevation profiles that Blue's been drawing for Alpha, and he's not been able to show any more. There's only I think Blue Marble Science, Jesse Kozlowski, and Walter Bislin that have ever had the bravity to show pictures like this. But I mean, Alpha seems to be sticking up for him. Elevation is a change, a measured change from a horizontal plane measured vertically.
From a measured change from a horizontal plane? Or Rocky didn't say that.
Did he not?
No.
Oh, right. Well, what do you say it is?
Do you agree? With what Rakia said.
Do you agree?
I agree with Rakia. I agree with Rakia. Yeah. What he said is accurate.
Okay. So we agree then that it's definitely a horizontal, right? Definitely a straight line and a vertical change from that straight line, horizontal.
No.
No, that's not what you say.
No,
okay,
that is not
go on then, give us your idea then.
Rakia already filled us in. He said it nicely.
Well, we missed that.
No, everybody got that. You missed it.
Okay.
Why don't you want to say it? Why don't you want to stand up for your belief?
Oh, Rakia, it's your belief. You're the one that said it. I'm just confirming what you said.
Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I didn't say it. You did. I'm fine.
This is what you're going to do, right?
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, if somebody else said it, I just agree to it. I don't need to restate it for Bev. That would be if Bev wants to hear it from you, then go ahead.
So you share an opinion with Rakia, the same exact opinion?
I think Bev asked you, so he wants to hear it from you.
And I'm saying
he showed us earlier. He has that. He has the hump that he doesn't think is a hump. He can't see it.
No, the hump. Thinking there's a hump is your misunderstanding of how things work on the globe.
Mm-hmm. Things work.
Correct.
Right.
So you're a drop believer, not a hump believer?
Yeah. He can't see the hump.
SC, you do know that on the globe model, you are always at the top, correct?
According to you, yes. So there's a drop then?
According to the model.
Is that wrote into the scriptures? Is that wrote into the scriptures of globe? Because I've seen people draw pictures of people stood on the side.
Thou shalt stand on top.
Show us the scriptures of globe, Bev?
Pardon?
Can you show us the scriptures of globe that you just referred to?
Well, yeah, I've got a. We did have a meme. I'll get it for you if you want. I mean, it was one of the really early ones. If you want.
The first commandment of globe is, "Thou shalt always be on top."
Well, see, these pictures here. There you go, that one. Do you teach this to children? There you go. See that? I mean, it may sound a little bit strange or look a bit strange, but one of those guys definitely isn't on top.
No, they're all on top.
The one on the side?
Yes.
That's on top.
To his perspective,
so
he's on
can you
top.
quantify top then?
Anywhere on the surface.
Oh, like the circumference.
Does a sphere have a circumference?
I don't know. Does it?
I don't know. I think we probably use a better descriptive word for it.
Okay. Would you call it top?
As I said, anywhere that you're standing on the globe, you are on the top.
Okay. So of a sphere, wherever you put a point on a sphere, that's always on the top. Right? Because we're talking geometrically and our geometric understanding of how we do this sort of stuff. That's because we're doing about communication. So if you're talking about a sphere, we have to talk about it geometrically. And are you saying that within your framework of how you understand it, any point on a sphere can be considered the top?
We're talking about the Earth.
Well, we've already been over that. I'd say that's dirt, so that doesn't apply, and it doesn't apply geometrically either.
Are you sure? You pick up a handful of dirt and you call that the Earth?
Yeah, I would. The Earth in my hand.
No, we're not. You can't. No, I didn't say the Earth in my hand. Just the Earth.
I was just trying to be a bit more, a bit more descriptive.
No, what you're doing is you're making it less.
Well, I was just saying, what do you call the Earth then? Go on, let's have that.
So if I picked up soil and had it in my hand, I would call it Earth.
Okay.
Now, when I'm talking about what I'm standing on, the planet, I would call that the Earth.
Big E. Would you? Would you capitalize that E at the beginning and make a distinction between big E and little e? Oh, big E. Would you?
If that makes you feel better.
It doesn't make me feel better. I mean, is that what you would do? Would you capitalize the E when you were talking about an object, like some sort of a deity? Like you would give it a name. You would be naming it with the big E. So that's the difference, right? Now, is that geometric? Would you say, like when we say geometry, the geo bit, what would you say that is? Earth. Would you
of a sphere?
What? Yeah, the geometry, there's all sorts of different shapes in geometry.
Well, I mean, the geometry of a sphere, you understand that, yes?
I know a sphere, yeah. But book 11. Within Euclidean geometry, a sphere. Yeah. So, yes, we do understand what a sphere is, and we do understand the geometry that a sphere is based in Euclidean geometry. Good. We're getting somewhere. Now, the geo is Earth, and the metra is measurement. Earth measurement. Now, do you think they're talking about big E? Like the Earth measurement?
Well,
or just Earth, like which can we have the Earth, right? The land. That's
so what let me ask you this. What unit do you think we would measure dirt in?
Well, distance.
So you pick up dirt in your hand and go, oh yeah, I would say that distance is 2 inches.
Well, Earth measurement you would put a point somewhere and then a point somewhere else, and you would measure the distance, right? That's how it works.
How you would measure dirt.
Well, that you would put the pin or whatever in the dirt or the sand or the soil or whatever, right? And then you would measure the distance from that point to another.
So we've established that you would measure dirt in distance.
I would measure distances. If we were doing geometry, yeah, I would definitely measure the distances on the land.
Of dirt.
Well, of what? Of the land. Geo. I know you have big E, and I don't, right? So how would you measure big E if you would take it in your context of Earth measurement? How would you measure that?
Measure the size of the Earth?
If that's what you think geometry
determine?
is, yeah, if that's what you're talking about Earth and measurement, yeah. If you think geometry is just about measuring your big E, then how would you do that? And, you know, how would that work? Because obviously we're talking about Euclidean geometry. You're not, are you? You're talking about your big E, Earth geometry.
I'm talking about, I said we already established this. We're talking about a sphere.
Okay, how would you measure that? Go on, stick with it. How would you measure your big E?
So how would we use geometry to measure a sphere?
Use geometry? No, you're talking about Earth geometry, aren't you? Or are you talking about just normal geometry, Euclidean geometry, and the sphere?
Well, we can talk about the geometry of a sphere as we identified a few minutes ago.
Go on, what's the geometry of a sphere then?
Well, you tell me.
Radius. All points equidistant.
You told me before that you
radius.
Understood the geometry of a sphere.
Yeah,
so
a radius and all points equidistant from that. Or actually, wait a minute, a semicircle revolving around the diameter. A sphere in solid geometry, isn't it? Yeah? Is that what you think, the geometry of a sphere? That's the definition of a sphere within solid geometry. What's yours?
The definition of it?
What's yours? Do you not know? Did you not hear? Did you not hear? Go back and rewind it if you didn't hear it. I'm not saying it again for the benefit of everybody else heard. If you didn't hear, then that's up to you. But you can go back and rewind it anytime you want. If you don't know for the definition of a sphere for yourself.
No problem.
Do you have a geometry book there with a definition of a sphere handy? Do you have the definition of a sphere in spherical geometry at hand? No?
I have the definition of a sphere, but we weren't talking about spherical geometry.
A sphere is a solid figure described by the revolution of a semicircle about its diameter, which remains fixed. How about that? Do you have one?
So you wanted?
What's yours?
You wanted to talk about spherical geometry?
No, you wanted to talk about spherical geometry. You wanted to define a sphere within spherical geometry. What's your definition of a sphere? And does that work within your spherical geometry? Or do you want to switch it to talking about big E again? Or are we going to talk about proper geometry? What are you talking about?
I wasn't talking about spherical geometry. You brought that up.
Brilliant. So you don't have a definition of a sphere in spherical geometry then? Let's move on.
We weren't talking about spherical geometry. We're just talking about a definition of sphere.
Okay, which I've give you. Do you have a definition of a sphere?
Geometrical object that is three-dimensional analog to a two-dimensional circle.
Wow. So not a two-dimensional circle then. It's a three-dimensional analog. Yeah, I know, I heard. I'm just clarifying for you. For everybody listening. You said it's a three-dimensional analog of a two-dimensional circle. Because everybody knows circles are 2D. That's why we get pi in it. Because circles have 2D. It's great having you around here, Alpha.
It's good, isn't it?
You're going to bring any other geometric facts? That was Euclidean geometry what you were talking about, right?
Have you applied Euclidean geometry to the surface of the Earth?
The surface, yeah, elevation changes. You apply the principles of Euclidean geometry to measurements taken in reality, yeah, to measure the elevations of the land.
We're not talking about elevation. We're talking about the surface.
Yeah, we are. You're talking about, yeah.
No.
If you don't see an elevation change, you might just be a flat earther. Now, don't be doing that. There are definitely elevation changes on the surface.
When talking about the geometric shape of the Earth, we ignore the topography that sits on top of the Earth. Surely by now you know that.
The topography is the elevation changes. I mean,
which is why that doesn't come into play when we're talking about the geometric shape of the Earth.
Are you sure?
Yes, sure. So an 8-inch
Is there
drop,
is
as
there
you've
an
said before, over the
underlying
period of a
is there an
mile, is
underlying
not
framework
elevation
that you
change.
think occurs underneath the land and the elevation
So
changes?
let's
What do you
let's just
imagine?
be clear, Bev. Earlier you were talking about the 8-degree drop
Let's
over the
just
course of a
be
mile.
clear.
So that is not an elevation change. Let's
No,
be
no,
very
no,
clear.
no.
That is
You're
not
talking
an
about
elevation
earlier.
change.
We were talking about last night when Hex had an 8-inch drop, and you as well, an 8-inch drop along the middle of a horizontal line, elevation-wise. That's what we were talking about earlier. Well, can you remember?
I do.
Good. So I wasn't necessarily talking about it. You were the one talking about it. I was the one just sort of amazed that you can have an elevation change in the middle of a horizontal. Fascinates me. You not think it's amazing, that sort of stuff? No? Wow. You go quiet again. You do that a lot. Are you all right? Are you okay? Yeah? Oh, is he gone? Oh, no, he's here. Still here. Alpha? Never mind. Some other time, eh, Alpha? You got triggered like you did last time.
No, not triggered. Just I got something else to do. I'm just listening for now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't. Anytime you get triggered about anything that's been happening today, right, or anything we say about horizontals being parallel or anything, don't forget to jump in. And remember, don't talk about the second arm at LIGO.
You haven't been able to address the first one.
Yeah, we did.
The
You've got an elevation change of a horizontal.
Work for you.
You've got an elevation change on a horizontal towards the
Right,
middle.
which would mean that the Earth isn't flat, that it's globular.
It's definitely
Unfortunately
not
for
flat.
You, Bev, ignore topography when talking about the geographic shape of the Earth. Surely by now you've been told this about 1,000 times.
By
One day you're going
a
to
load
get
of
it.
morons that don't understand what elevation is.
No, you.
So no, it's not your
Rakia
fault.
even showed that you don't understand what elevation is. How embarrassing for you, Bev.
Yeah, you. I think Rakia showed that you made a fool out of yourself.
No.
Yeah, you just
with
misunderstood it. But let's not go into these childish sort of things where you say somebody else said something just to get a rise out of somebody. It doesn't really work. It's a bit childish.
I told you I agreed with what Rakia said before. What he said was accurate. And then I said you were the one that were having difficulty understanding it. And then what you said was not accurate.
What did I say? Can you not remember what I said? Or can you not remember what Rakia said?
Do you remember what you said?
You can't remember what you said.
I remember. Do you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, yeah. What did you say?
Earlier, when I said, you must be fucking joking. Earlier, when I said that. Or when we said earlier that you were bringing those pictures from Blue over. That bit. Or what about the bit that you couldn't answer? All of those questions that you get asked and you can't answer. But don't wait. I don't want to spoil it because there's only the other guys that it'll work on too.
Should we post one of those pictures for fun again?
You can. What have you got? We are playing a game. It's Friday night, gaming night.
Read your phone.
So does anybody else want to have a go with Alpha? I mean, we've been talking all day, and he's been showing us that he just listens to Blue. He's taken all of his information from Blue and Jesse Kozlowski, which is a bit embarrassing. Seeing as they tell him to say some really stupid stuff.
You having fun in that thing then?
I've never talked to
lots
Blue.
of fun.
So no.
Been tearing it around for ages. Yeah.
You've never said anything of note. Is that what you said?
No, I said I've never talked to Blue.
You've never talked to Blue?
Correct.
But you...
Have you talked to Blue?
Yeah. Yeah. Talked to Blue a few times.
What do you think of him?
What do you mean? What do I think of him?
What is your opinion of Blue?
He's a globe model advocate that dearly loves to defend his model. Like most of the people in this arena. But I think he left for a bit and then he came back, and he's come back with a vengeance. I think he's picking up from where Bob left off. He's developing a team. He's got Blue Ops. Have you heard of that? Which that's like, I mean, if the globe needs defending, then Blue and his crack team of globe defenders, they're your man, right? If you have anything that sways you, that you may have a question or two about the globe model, and you may have doubts about some of the validity of some of the claims, and Blue Marble Science, go there. That's where you want to go to have the globe reinforcement team. Blue adult, right? I don't think they like kids over there too much. But like, if you're a bit of a boomer sort of age and you're questioning the globe, maybe somebody's triggered you into something. Maybe somebody's triggered your cognitive dissonance and you don't know what to do. Well, I'd say everybody go over to Blue Marble Science's Discord. I'm guessing that's the way to do it. You maybe watch a few of his videos. He still seems obsessed with level not being horizontal, or he did for a bit. He might be all right with it now. So you should go over there. You should, Alpha. You know, like these presentations that you're going to be giving us, the ones that you're preparing, like you should try them over there at Blues first. See what you can get past them. See whether they think it's good. Yeah, just see if it's good. But Betty was showing him about little tricks that he does within his wordplay. You should be. He does loads of stuff over there at Blues. It's good.
I'm not sure if Blue would like his stating that LIGO is horizontal, even though that may be true.
Well, you know, he said that we misrepresented Blue. He came as the spokesperson for Blue to say that Blue actually used. That's what you said, right, Alpha?
So sorry, Cleary, can you reference where Blue said that LIGO arm is not horizontal?
No, you just said that it was horizontal, so yeah.
No, where did Blue say it's not?
Oh, I don't watch Blue. God. Why would I watch that?
So do you think the LIGO arm that we depicted is not horizontal? Like Bev says
no,
it's not
I agree
horizontal.
with you.
Yeah, it's horizontal.
I agree with you, it's horizontal.
Yeah.
No, Bev says if the measurements are accurate, then it's not horizontal.
No, did you see the one yesterday where we did? We were asking the question, is horizontal possible on a globe? And the consensus was, it's not, Hex. Hex said there's no such thing as a horizontal. So that's why we were surprised at you saying that the arm is actually horizontal. I mean, we thought it was funny. So
Well, the arm,
like, we agree with you. We definitely agree with you. We're not opposing it.
Oh, it's like I've not been away. This is good. Just literally come back.
The arm doesn't conform to the surface of the Earth. So the arm is horizontal. The Earth surface over that distance is not.
Yeah, there's elevation changes, but it's horizontal. I was just a little confused because you said my table wasn't horizontal, yet LIGO is horizontal. So, yeah, I'll take that.
Didn't say, no, Clear, I didn't say anything about your table. Remember, I said I couldn't comment on your table. Then you asked about mine.
Are you saying that the elevation of the Earth is different underneath the arm of LIGO?
No, I'm saying that LIGO is different. The
Then
elevation
what?
at either end of LIGO versus the middle of the arm of LIGO is different, measured differently.
Yeah, he's saying the horizontal has different elevations along it.
Yeah, but he's saying it's lower in the middle.
Yeah.
There's a reason
Blue's
why.
told him to say that. These are Blue drew the drawing that he's using. He's never talked to Blue, don't worry about that.
I can give you a really simple example of that, so how you can verify what Blue's saying, if anybody's wants it.
Oh, you're going to speak for Blue? Okay.
I'm sure Bev has a Swiss ball. You know what a Swiss ball is, Bev?
Not got a clue, no.
Like a yoga ball?
You said sure. You are sure.
Yeah. I'm poking fun at you.
Mm-hmm.
Take a ball, like a Swiss ball, and take your yardstick or meter stick, wherever you are, whatever you want to call it, and place it on top. In the middle, it touches. On the sides, it does not, because it's sitting on a sphere, just like the Earth. That's why the elevation is different on either end of LIGO than it is in the middle. Very simple.
It could be just that the the Earth is just a little bit on a slope underneath the water level. Or sorry, I mean the LIGO.
Are you sure about that, or did you want to verify whether that could be true or not?
You've got different elevations under horizontal. That tells you
because that's verifiable. Spot on. That's verifiable. It's all been surveyed. If you want, you can find the details, then you can verify whether what the pad that it's sitting on.
That's the proof we've been looking for.
Thing in the universe, mate.
Yeah, that's what the proof we've been looking for. The elevation change of a horizontal, because we've got a tool that establishes a horizontal. So all we need to do is establish the elevation change along it.
What tool is that?
A level.
And over what distance is that level accurate for, and what's the tolerance?
It's a horizontal. Like.
So we're back to you not knowing tolerance of the tools that you're using.
Well, no, you said there's an elevation change on a horizontal. So if we can get a tool that establishes a horizontal, we'll be able to find the elevation change on it. Jesse Kozlowski said, oh, yes, it's measurable. So I'm presuming that's what he means is measurable, the elevation change of a horizontal, right? Yeah? Come on, let's get into it. Let's get everybody active. We've all been looking for it for fucking years. You've got Jesse Kozlowski telling you, and Blue as well. Wait a minute, and Blue. So you've got Alpha, Blue, Jesse Kozlowski saying, yeah, it's measurable. Let's go for it. Boom, let's do it. Now, what tool can we use?
Get the survey
let's
results
go.
From the LIGO arm. It's been done. Let's grab it. Let's take a look. Everybody in?
Brilliant. Go on then. Let's do an elevation profile of that.
Yeah.
No, just to make sure. I want to see an elevation profile from the results of that results, please.
I'll find the survey results for everybody.
Now let's have an elevation profile.
Elevation.
Yeah.
Yeah. You won't have, you don't build LIGO and not have an elevation profile.
Yeah.
We do it in house building and, and small works, local works.
So I'll get the survey results, and then we can all look at them. Yeah?
Yeah, get the elevation profile. Use Google Earth. Pull an elevation profile.
Yeah. Go on. Yeah. Make a big
No,
one.
this-
Make it a big one. A wazin' great big
You guys
one.
realize that the numbers that Blue pulled came from a survey that was done, so we can get the survey and all take a look at it.
Are you any good on Google Earth?
So no, we don't want that. You guys avoiding it?
What?
I'm not avoiding anything, mate.
Avoiding
Well,
what?
I've offered it up, and nobody seems interested in it. It's been
So
surveyed.
you want a story about surveying? Why don't you just pull an elevation profile? You can see it.
Story about it. It's survey results.
Where's
Some man
the
wrote
elevation
some story.
profile?
Yeah.
Alpha. Where is it? There must be one. The one that you're providing with the numbers. There must be an elevation drawing.
Other than Blue's new 2022 elevation
yeah.
profile. I mean,
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Just everybody confirm. Are
Just
you
some
asking
more.
for that because you don't understand what?
Let's have some more.
For you?
Please, let's have one
Present
like Blue.
it. Go on.
So you don't understand
Please,
what Blue drew for you?
He didn't draw that for us.
on.
That was on his video, wasn't it? You said he didn't do that for us.
What are Blue's credentials, by the way?
Are you going to appeal to authority, Cleary?
Well, I just, you want
Oh
some
my
guy
God,
on YouTube
Cleary!
to draw
If you
something
want
for
to
you.
appeal to authority,
are you-
I just said I would get the survey results from the site. Why are you afraid of looking at them?
Why don't you appeal to Google Earth and pull an elevation profile?
Yeah, that's
Have you
what
ever
we're
done
after,
it?
an
Go
elevation
over,
profile.
go
But
on,
he doesn't know what they
go
are.
to Google Earth and put. Do you know how to do a distance measurement on Google Earth? You put a point on one there, you drag it over, and you do a point at the other end. Don't talk over me, please. I'm talking.
Why are we so afraid of the survey
Excuse me.
results?
He's laying his narrative.
Bev used to talk about surveyors like they were gospel, and now
You
when they don't
stuck on
fit his
your page.
paradigm, he doesn't want to look at them.
I'm playing a game, mate.
Present the elevation profile, please.
Yeah, can you not get that elevation profile? You've had all day to do it, Alpha. If you're not even drawn one yourself, you could draw it yourself, you know.
You can't figure it out.
Just
That
draw it
isn't
yourself. It's really
my
easy.
issue.
Want to figure what out, mate? What are you on about now? What, an elevation plan?
Elevation profile of a horizontal. That's what he's trying to do.
I see loads
struggling.
of them, mate. That's what I do. Build from plans.
He's struggling to draw an elevation profile.
Us bricklayers are clever enough to look at drawings, with numbers on.
But not clever enough to know that a spirit level isn't accurate.
Over what distance? I mean, if you got 6 foot level, is that accurate?
You
is a 6
said
foot
there's
level
no variance
accurate?
at all. You told us earlier that it's 100% accurate. You said earlier it's 100% accurate.
You never said 100%.
Yes, you did, because you said there was zero variance on it.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He definitely
Yes,
didn't.
he did,
No, did you record it? Did you record it? Did you record it, Alpha? Have you got it there? Because you're claiming something that may not be true.
So there you go.
100%, is it?
That would mean it's 100% accurate, which is completely wrong.
That would
So
mean,
spot
are
on
you
is
interpreting something?
a
A
bricklayer
6
that
foot
doesn't
spirit level.
understand.
You're telling me that if the bubble's in the middle of a calibrated tool that you just bought from Stabila, yeah, brand new tool, you get out, you put it up on a shelf, it's level. Yeah, it's a straight line, 6 foot. You telling me that that's not accurate?
Spot on. If you don't know that spirit levels are only accurate
you don't
to
want to
a
answer that,
certain
obviously.
amount,
You never answer any
that is
questions.
not
You just talk
our
shit all the
problem
time.
at all. You're an apparent
Hour?
bricklayer.
Is
and
there
don't
more than one of you
understand
there?
what
Is
you
there
need.
more than one out?
Like more than
Ask
one
any
Amazing.
bricklayer.
A bricklayer doesn't understand a level.
Ask
Wow.
any bricklayer whether or not they think a 6 foot level, spirit level, is straight and that they can use it to create a horizontal line.
It's not my fault that you don't understand the equipment that you use.
Wow. Is that another you don't understand? That's about 12 today that you've done.
Really
We need to
bad
change
argument.
the lyrics of that song, I think, slightly. Revise that song.
Yeah.
That like you telling a Marine he doesn't know his weapon, something like that.
Absolutely.
I just posted the elevation profile of a house.
Oh, SE brought up.
Ah,
things
don't
to
be
do with
doing that.
military. Does SE
Maybe
know that you
Dolby
went
Don
back
can
and
help you.
forth with the official Twitter account of that surveying? Remember, Bev?
Oh, you mean the tweets that you've saved? Go on, get them out there. Put them on Twitter. You put them on.
Does SE
Go
know
on.
about that?
Get all of the tweets that you've saved from mine from 2 years ago.
Does SE know that you argued with Ordnance Survey because they told you that you were wrong?
Argued. No. I just.
I think we should.
I stopped talking to them because it was obviously I'm not listening to somebody that won't let me talk to surveyors. So, yeah, what are you saying about it, Alpha? What is it? What is it that you want to say about them?
I just asked if SE was familiar with it.
If he was familiar with my tweets, do you want to the ones that you've saved? Do you want to get them out and so he can have a look at them to see whether he's? I don't think he saved them. SE, have you saved any of my tweets?
Negative,
from 2 years ago? Alpha,
Negative.
do you want to put them out there? Because I haven't saved them either.
I want to see them, Alpha. Put them up.
Bev's tweets. Go on. There you go. Oh, sorry. People replying.
He has them at hand. Look at that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Well, I pasted them in here yesterday, I think.
Yeah. It says that they can't measure 100 meters, but I'm not too sure about that, to be honest. But I mean, Alpha seems to think that they're bragging about how inaccurate they are is a good thing. And I think it's just somebody who works on the Twitter thing that's just been told to do
everybody
that.
here, Bev. Bev was asking about the maps that they produce. So they were letting Bev know that taking a 3D
Did you get the
shape
first one? Did you
and
get the
putting
first
onto
one?
a 2D map causes
first one.
distortions. So they were letting Bev know
like
distortions.
you've even posted it. Don't fucking misrepresent. The first
exactly
tweet
what
with
they're
the
talking
first fucking tweet that I sent to them was this isn't one of your documents, is it? And that's it. That's the tweet that I sent to them. All the rest of the DMs, you're not privy to. That's the only public one that I sent to the Ordnance Survey. Big shocker, innit? Wonder why he replied that with all of that sort of stuff. Isn't that weird? You saved all of the tweets, didn't you?
You mean these DMs?
DMs?
Yeah, those DMs that I just posted.
Oh, did they show you the DMs? Did the Ordnance Survey Twitter account show you DMs? Wow, I wonder how you got them.
Yeah.
That's good.
Hang on a minute. Is
post
that
the
them
documents?
replying to you, Bev, personally, like in a direct message?
Yeah.
How does he have access?
Oh no, it's a strange situation, all of this Ordnance Survey Twitter tweeting. It's about the same sort of time WS appeared.
I wonder if this guy's from the Ordnance Survey.
Yeah, could be.
Is that not Alpha?
Seems like he would have to be the guy who's written the message and sent it. Otherwise, how would he have it?
Well, that's good, isn't it?
That's the good thing about logic, isn't it?
You'd have to ask Alpha how he gets all of these and how you saved DMs from 2 years ago. Is that the ones that they're saying when I was asking them if I could talk to a surveyor and they said no? Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Dead strange.
They just get it all wrong, don't they? They get it all wrong. They can't make head nor tail of anything, so they're all upside down all the time.
To be honest with you, Alpha, I mean, it was all a bit of a really weird situation. So I just stopped talking to them because it obviously seemed like they had connections within circles that they shouldn't really have, being like they obviously, it's not a government, it's a private company now. So those Twitter employees weren't surveyors, obviously, and they seem to be handing out DMs for some reason.
I think it's fabulous that you went that ordnance survey. You just say nope, not valid. What you're saying is a lie. It's not true, and have dismissed it.
Is that what I put in there? Does it say that? Does it? Do I say lie in there or not? Are you just sort of blatantly slandering it? Is that you think you might just be doing that?
It's inconvenient for you, so you dispute it.
I dispute the fact that I can't talk to a surveyor because they won't let me talk to a surveyor. Probably because there are no surveyors there in that office. Right? And maybe because the surveyors of that place wouldn't be able to answer the question, is level horizontal? Which is a very simple question. And it's strange that no surveyor from that place can answer that question. Isn't that right?
What do you think of that, Alpha? What do you reckon, Alpha? It'd be interesting to know how you got the DMs, too. There's a lot of questions coming out of your information here, Alpha.
Yeah, that's why I posted it.
Private DMs that weren't from you or to you?
Those private DMs are publicly accessible on Twitter.
Private DMs are publicly accessible.
That one in particular is, yeah.
Who posted that one?
I don't know. That's a screenshot that I posted, though.
Yeah, where did you get it? It said it's publicly accessible. Where's it publicly accessible?
It's on Twitter. If you just search for it, you could find it.
Yeah. You search for what? 2-year-old DMs from to Bev from Ordnance Survey. Or just are they in the Ordnance Survey posts? Is that where?
Do you know how to do searches like that? You can search for any tweets that include multiple users and find everything that was associated with both of them.
That's a DM, so it's a screenshot, right?
Yeah, somebody posted a screenshot within a feed, so you can find it pretty easily.
Oh.
Do you think what you presented there is like a gotcha or something? You think you actually see something?
It's pretty inconvenient for Bev and for the rest of the
What, that somebody tweeted me that they couldn't talk to surveyors?
Are you not listening? He's told you the reason. What's wrong with that?
The reason for what? The tweeting back and forth?
There was not much
the question
back and
he
forth,
asked them and their response.
Yeah, the response was letting Bev know that the maps are not accurate because they're transposing a 3D shape onto a 2D surface. That's right.
So they can't measure 100 meters, you think?
No, they measure 100 meters on the Earth, and it can't be 100% accurate put down onto 2D because they're measuring something that isn't two-dimensional.
Yeah, they say anything within 98 meters to 102 meters when they're measuring 100 meters.
Hey, imagine when they're doing the 100 meters Olympics, sprint. Do you think they get that 100 meters precise?
But the pictures I put up of New York as well, even though they are 3D models, they could have made them 2D and just made them flat so you could walk on top of them. And they are to scale. There is no distortion. The only time you get distortion is when you try to say it's a sphere.
How have you determined that there's absolutely no distortion?
Because it's to scale.
How have you determined that there is no distortion, that every element of that is perfectly to scale in reference to each other?
To scale.
So you can't
he doesn't
verify
understand
that.
scale. He doesn't.
See?
Oh my God.
No, she's just
he doesn't understand that if
things
you
that are true.
Model sitting there.
So if somebody came to you and said the lean difference between a building on the far east side of New
Sorry,
York
the
compared
lean
to a building on the
difference.
far
What?
west side of
There
New
is
York
no lean
is
difference.
0.58 degrees
Come on,
difference,
dude.
but it's not depicted on the model, you're
Stop
going to say, well,
talking.
that's
You can't
because
just say stupid shit and then keep talking as if it
she
wasn't
just said
stupid.
something. She just said something. She
You
can't
said the
verify
lean
it has to be
angle of
said.
what buildings?
You might have to
And you think you can verify a
What,
lean
pizza?
angle of the building? You
Sam
fucking
accidentally shot
idiot.
me. Feds might come. I don't
No,
know.
you're the one that says that that is 100% accurate, and then when asked about
Bend it like a
verification,
boss,
you
though.
just claim that it is and haven't done any
That it
verification.
was
I
to
said
Not me.
scale.
To
You don't
scale.
listen to you just twist words and put other words in people's mouths that they haven't actually said.
Cindy.
Like, dude, this is pathetic.
No, what's pathetic is you claiming something because you
You
think
claimed
it
it to
I'm
be
like,
to
built
scale.
angles of buildings.
He doesn't understand scale.
You're the
Don't
one who
get
brought
upset.
leaning buildings in. Yeah, we were talking about scale, and then you said leaning buildings. Like, what's that got to do with it? Let's just stick
because
to
she
the
thinks that that is
Oh.
evidence for a flat Earth.
Who
You mean the who said that? No,
Whatever
she
her name
said
is.
Never said flat.
she
never
said
heard
the
me say
2D representation of New York was on a 2D piece of paper, a map. To scale was her claim. Do you want to talk about that?
She's not talking about something that's 2D on a map.
It could have been
Rakia,
made
catch up.
2D.
Oh,
Take the
God.
topography off it.
The map.
Holy
The
shit,
map.
dude.
The map of a city is on a 2D map, and it's 2 scales. You agree with that?
Yes, and it's distorted because of that.
2 scale distorted.
2 scale distorted.
Why would they want to distort
So
it to
he
scale?
makes
What the fuck's up with
claims that
you?
it's distorted. So where's his verification that it's distorted when it's to scale?
Askin wanted me to say it one more time. Askin
Yeah,
is a
let's
flat earther.
say it again. Hear you say it again. The 2D scale is
Rakia
distorted.
is a flat earther.
I'm not a flat earther. The Earth
You're
is
a bigot
obviously not
again,
flat.
You are
dude.
100% a flat
Stop
earther.
with
I'm
your
100%
bigotry,
not a flat
dude.
earther.
Don't fall into it. Yeah.
You're
Just
100% a
stick
topographic
to the
earther. And then the
Talk
geometric
about the
shape is
scale
flat.
that you don't
Reality then.
Go
Reality is
indeed,
the
yeah,
Earth
man.
is
flat.
the shape of a
Reality.
globe. Sorry to
You have
say.
no proof of that.
The inconvenient truth is all measurements
Show me
on the
your
Earth
model.
show that the Earth is not flat, that it is a globe.
Show me your
all the-
real life model
like,
of
but
New
then when I
York
check
City
outside,
sitting
on the
on its
sign, it says that it's
curve
company owned,
to
like.
scale.
Oh,
Go.
Why would you need that to show that the
I've
Earth
got
is
it
not flat?
to justify why I think the way
Hence,
I
guys,
do.
as I just said, she's trying to use that
Don't
for
talk all
evidence that the
over.
Earth is flat.
Hey.
Just
He's
as
talked
she
over
said
Hey, one at a time.
Well,
right
how
there.
One
can
at
it
a
be
time,
flat when it's
please.
got topography?
What are you scared
Higher
of?
and lower levels. Like,
Because the
holy shit.
topography doesn't come into play when you're talking about the geometric shape of the Earth.
A level
That is a
plane, water level
misunderstanding
finds
that is within this
it's
community.
horizontal.
Paige, now talk. Go on.
As soon as I do, he'll just talk over.
No, he won't. He won't.
He seems to be trying to tie you into flat Earth again, but that's all he's ever been doing. I think he wants to be a flat Earther. I mean,
No,
we have
what
to
he-
keep
what he
pointing
wants
out
to
to
be
him.
able to do
Yeah.
is get angry at us and insult us, put us in a box and be bigoted towards us so he can just ignore everything we say. That's why they have to call us flat earthers. Otherwise, if they just talk to us like, you know, normal, rational, logical people, they have no argument. So they have to get back to this, oh, but you're just a stupid flat earther.
Yeah.
I never said
repeatedly called
anybody
me
was
a flat
stupid.
earther.
Yeah, he has to show his bigotry, right?
I never said
That's
anybody
the
was
only
stupid.
way out for him. It's upsetting,
I
right?
just said you are a flat earther. I didn't say there was any issue with that.
Yeah, you're just bigoted towards flat earthers.
Yeah, because we're
No,
not.
I'm not bigoted
not
towards
That's
flat.
the
flat
idea.
earthers.
There
Even
it
though
is. That's
we've
the
told
idea of
that
you
we can
labeling
prove
people.
It's not flat.
You can't use
We can-
topography to prove that the geometric shape of the Earth is not flat. Spot on.
I'm not.
The Earth isn't flat. Nobody's
thing
trying to
they-
prove the Earth isn't flat. It's fucking obvious.
We're not talking about topography, Bev. That is your misunderstanding.
Topography is
level.
the Earth.
No.
Yeah.
The geometric
There's
shape,
no-
the geoid,
oh, no.
not topography. This is a misunderstanding that
It's your
everybody has
misunderstanding
here.
that you don't know what
Reason why you're afraid
elevation
he's called a
is.
flat earther.
Did he just say
Yes, severe
geoid?
misunderstanding.
Geoid? Did you just say geoid?
I did.
That's imaginary.
Oh, how so? Please explain.
Look it up.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Please explain.
Look it up.
No, he
Don't
said it's
start
imaginary.
using
I'm asking him
Seriously,
to
look it
support his
up. It will
position
tell
on
you.
that.
You're not bad mouthing his geoid, are you?
Yeah. He's imaginary
Be
geoid.
careful.
Even
sorry.
even
Go
he
ahead,
says he
you
has
can
to imagine all of the
explain
topology gone, right? He has to imagine there's no topography, right? And he now gets upset when you point out that the geoid's imaginary. See, I can't see past the topology to imagine it not being there. It's really hard for me to do that. Because when I see things, I see the topology of the land and all of the elevation changes. That's why I say it's not flat.
I think that's part of your issue.
Could be part of your issue.
No, Rocky, I don't have an issue.
You have an
Yeah, of course
imaginary
you don't.
geoid, dude.
Why would you admit to having an issue?
I have no issue.
Then you couldn't come here and laugh at us, and then
Oh, I
say
can-
you're not laughing at us.
I can laugh
That
at
you're
you and
not
say that
grouping
I'm
us as
laughing at
flat
you.
earthers. Yeah, I know you can do
Pussy.
whatever you want, but then you can double speak and say you're not coming here to group us as flat earthers to laugh at us. But
I'm
you're
not
coming
grouping
here.
you as flat earthers
You're
to laugh at
coming
you.
here, but you're coming here thinking that we're all flat earthers and claiming that you're coming here to laugh.
You are
That's
all
hilarious.
flat
Have a
earthers.
look in the chat, Alpha. Your definition's up
But
there. Have a look at
I'm
it.
not. I am not
Say I'm a
laughing
flat
at you
earther
because
again,
you're
and it
flat
might become
earthers.
true. Say
I'm
I'm a flat
laughing
earther
at
one more
times
time.
because of the amount of misunderstanding in certain areas,
Well, maybe people are laughing at you right back,
and that's fine.
saying that your geoid doesn't have topography and it's not imaginary.
And that's fine as well.
So you agree that it doesn't have topography, and you're having to imagine that it doesn't have that?
No, I'm saying you can say that. I have no issue with it. You
No,
can say
you're not
whatever you want.
imagining it. You have to imagine that. You told us we have to imagine that, and now you're double speaking again?
I'm not double speaking, Rakia. When you're talking about the shape of the Earth, when people talk about the Earth being a globe or globular or as ovate spheroid versus people talking about it being a flat or horizontal plane, nobody is talking about or utilizing the topography of the Earth in any of the descriptions or what they're speaking to.
Have you heard anybody here do
You nicked
that
all our stuff.
today?
I didn't nick anything, bro.
Yes.
Yeah, you
everybody
did. You
I've
were
heard-
thinks
chucking nicked all
topography
our
means
stuff.
the Earth isn't flat.
Thanks. I didn't ask that. I didn't ask that. How do you know what the hell people think?
Right, again, I will
I
have
said,
to,
have you heard anybody say anything
You
but
just
the
went
Earth
in the truck and
isn't
stole the stuff.
flat?
Go away now,
what am I
furry.
doing? I'm not doing
Go away,
anything.
furry. Go away.
Yes.
Hi, Grandma.
Plenty of people have said things other than the Earth isn't flat today.
Here today.
Correct.
Okay. Why would they do that? To be
Being
explaining
stupid.
how you're wrong about your model? Or talking
He's
about
saying
what
he
they
did say
think the
other
Earth is?
words.
Because no one here says that the Earth is flat. Everyone here says that the Earth is the land and is provably easily not flat. I'm looking at it right now. None of it's flat where I'm at.
And you're looking at the topography.
I'm looking at the Earth, the surface. I'm on it.
The
For you to
topography
go,
on
okay,
top of it.
oh,
Yeah.
okay, fine. Take me to your 2D surface of Earth. I want to meet you there right now.
All right. Do you live close to a large body of water?
You're going to show me a 2D surface of Earth?
Well, how are you going to show me that a surface is not 2D?
I'm going. The surface isn't 2D. It's 3D. I'm looking at it right now.
What's the third dimension?
Depth, breadth, length.
It's
No,
in
because
reality.
you can't go above the surface or below the surface, because then we're not just dealing with the surface.
So you're saying what I'm on right now is 2D?
The point
This
that
physical
you're on,
object.
yes.
This
The point
physical.
that-
So if you can hand me a physical object that's 2D.
No, the surface of that object is.
What are you talking about? I'm on the surface. It's made out of dirt.
Right. So the point that you're on is two-dimensional.
No, that's only theoretical. That's a concept. What I'm on is physical and can't be 2D.
Well,
ever.
Can you reference that? Where's the citation for that?
Why would I need to reference it? I can just use logic.
No,
Common
you would need a
sense.
citation for that.
I don't
You've
need
made a
any.
claim.
I don't need any authority to tell me how to think.
No, but you would
Wait
need a
here a minute,
citation.
No,
for the
I
claim you
don't.
just made.
No, I don't. For what reason? Am I going to lose money or breath if I don't provide you a citation about my logic? You're a fool.
You're getting very triggered by this. I
No,
find it
I'm not
quite
triggered
humorous.
at all. I'm driving up to my boat, and
Oh,
guess what I'm
it's
driving on?
Quite.
Guess what
So
I'm
these are
driving
the-
on? I
Lackey,
get
just so you
triggered
know,
over
these are the things
deceivers
that I
like
laugh
you.
at.
I don't care. Don't care why you're here anymore. I think it's foolish for you to be here. I think you're a lonely man coming to a site, deeming people as a group so you can be bigotry against them and laugh at them. You're doing it right now. You're being honest about it. You're telling us you're coming here as a bigot to laugh at a group. That's pathetic.
Obviously,
that is pathetic.
You don't understand what the word bigot means.
Yeah, I don't understand.
You've just clearly identified you don't know what the word bigot means.
Pathetic.
Wow.
Whatever you are is pathetic.
And you are triggered right now, and I apologize for that.
I'm not
Lackey.
triggered.
I have no
I'm not
intention.
triggered at all. I can't stand
We
people
did,
that
hang
are
on, Bev, I
coming
did
to do
ask
that to
Yoda
me.
and
Heard
that's
him
come up
talking
here, so
about
you
the
might
bricklayers
flying up in a
earlier.
minute, but
Say it
too
again.
late
Heard him.
now.
What'd he say?
I said you should have heard him talking about the bricklayers and you know how
Yes,
I don't know how stupid we are, innit?
I did have a
Brickies-
go at bricklayers earlier.
Brickies are idiots, huh?
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
Are
well,
we
you see,
idiots?
Spot
or-
on here tried to let everybody know that spirit levels have what was it? 0 tolerance? Is that what you said?
If it's level, yeah.
Variance. That's right. You said a spirit level has 0 variance built into it. That's what you
No, I didn't
said
say
to everybody here.
variance.
So
I
I
don't
said
use
if you
variance.
think
It's not one of my words.
that you don't understand the tools you're using and making a bad name for
He's
bricklayers.
just making up shit. Don't worry about it. Spot on.
No, he's doubled
I'm
down
sure
on that.
bricklayers
I
won't give
ain't
a
worried
shit
about it.
about whatever Alpha says, to be honest. There's no
Oh,
worry there,
dear.
is there, Alpha?
I love
Flat
it.
earthers and bricklayers. You got a problem with them, haven't you?
Yeah.
Well, I pretty much every flat earther I've run into is either a landscaper, a bricklayer, a carpenter, some hands on.
Oh, wow. All the practical people, right?
Yep.
All the practical
Every
trades.
flat earther he's run into.
Yeah.
Everybody he's deemed as a flat earther and he's run into is a common man and is therefore stupid.
But you know, the funny thing is, all those professions that he mentioned use those tools that establish level and horizontal every day of their life.
At a local point.
You're
can't
pathetic,
use it over
dude.
a
I
long
fucking knew he
distance,
was going to say that.
right? Everybody's agreed
Locally,
to
yeah?
that.
Yeah,
Even
all
though
surveyors
water
survey
levels
locally.
use
Every
over a
one
long
of them, mate.
distance.
Where does it
Everyone.
become unlocal? What distance does it become non-local? Please, sir, smart one.
Where's the measurements that are made non-locally?
Go ahead.
Did
we'll
Jesse
wait.
Kozlowski tell you that? That, you know, the local thing? Did Jesse Kozlowski ever
not
do any
understand
local
local
surveying, or was he surveying non-locally when he did his surveying?
Do you not understand?
What about that guy that lives
Bev?
in Maine? Do you reckon he did
You
any
not
surveying
keep saying
locally?
Not understand all the time.
Well, somebody
Just
earlier
seriously.
didn't understand what local was. I can't remember who it was.
Explain to us what.
Yeah,
So
we don't understand.
I can't remember if it was Bev or if it was
Yeah,
Cleary or
assume we
to
don't
us what
understand.
local is then.
Go ahead. Assume we don't understand. Explain local to us and give us it. Quantify it. Give us distances, please.
It's just
sir.
some fucking random dude, this, right? That says you don't understand a lot, but doesn't know anything. And so I don't know why we're giving him so much fucking...
Yeah, we did. We played
Like,
it.
he has slagged off a load of practical tools and practical people, right, that do real jobs. He said that they're all idiots.
I didn't say they're all idiots. I said Spot On and bricklayers are idiots.
Oh, just bricklayers.
Wow.
Right.
Well, yeah, because he told me that bricklayers think that a spirit level has 0 variance built into it.
He said that they use levels daily.
I didn't say variance either. I just didn't say
Was
that.
it tolerance was 0?
Maybe you should check your memory.
It's just
sir.
level, mate. 0.
No,
Horizontal.
you said 0, right?
It's either
2 points.
either level horizontal or it's not level horizontal.
How
That's it.
accurate is a spirit level, Bev? Do
As
you know?
accurate as a spirit level can be.
Which is how accurate, Rakia?
Which is accurate enough to make a straight line, not deviating, not curving.
How inaccurate do you think they
Over
are?
what distance, Rakia?
How
Over
inaccurate?
distances at the time.
Over what distance?
Yeah,
Be specific.
Why do you not think they're accurate?
Because they're not.
Oh, you
Sure,
say the
that's
tools
how
are not
inaccurate they
accurate.
are. Go on.
A
I wanna
spirit
know.
level? Yeah, Bev, you can look that
go
up
on.
yourself.
It's not accurate. It's not
There is
accurate for
no
what?
law.
You're the one that's just claimed that spirit levels aren't accurate. That's a good claim.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'll look it up right now. Maybe we should contact the spirit level manufacturers and ask them how inaccurate their tool is.
Yeah. Or whether they are
There you
actually
go.
accurate or not.
I just pasted in chat for you.
What's he found there then? Go on then.
Another inconvenient truth for you. Spot on.
What,
Not
that
knowing
6 foot level
Working
isn't
with them
level?
all the time, every day, and not
6 foot? Are
understanding
you serious?
What's the
how
slope?
Are
accurate
you
they are.
serious?
What's the
You can't
slope?
be serious.
Oh, I'm
saying what
dead
I'm
on
saying now.
serious. This is embarrassing for you.
What's the slope of a level then? If it's not level, what is the inaccuracies? How much of a
Bev.
slope is there to a level?
Bev, it's posted there. Do you understand what that
He
says?
said he's dead on serious.
Yeah.
What's your margin of error for being dead on serious?
What's your plus or minus, sir? And I'm still waiting for that distance of local. Smart guy.
What size of the Earth are we going to use, Rakia? Smart guy.
You
What
said
what are you
local.
comfortable with? Right.
Any size,
So-
whatever distance you give me, what's local to you?
Well, we're going to talk about variance over a certain distance, aren't we?
No, we're
I don't know
talking
what
about
you're gonna talk
local,
about.
for fuck's sake.
Asking about local.
Yeah, we're talking about local.
Can we
Yeah,
talk
what
about the
distance
variance
you
of local?
determine
Like,
local?
where does it start? Where's the minimum value and the maximum value of local?
Well, I guess in a sense you start deviating away right away, don't you? Just depends on how much.
Deviating
What do you
from
mean,
local?
don't you?
Deviating from horizontal.
Well, we're talking about local.
Local. Concentrate.
Right.
Local. What distance?
Exactly.
Anything
So,
local
Rakia,
is
we were
an
talking about
elevation
tools
change,
you
isn't it?
use for
What-
measurements, and I was saying
What's
locally.
the minimum
So this
and
all is
maximum
intermixed.
values of local? Particularly the maximum.
Depends on how accurate you want to be, Bev.
Accurate, really accurate. Like highly
Most
accurate.
you can be.
Yeah,
With
first
the
order.
you're using.
Then we're just going to use a point, Rakia.
First order measurements. Can we only do point? No. In reality, we can have first order measurements at what 3 to 3 million? Is it 1 in 3 million? Isn't that what they do? Can you remember? What variance for the accuracy? Now what local? Like 24,000 feet or something like that. Is that considered local? Is that a max? Is that a good maximum value for a local?
You said you wanted to be as accurate as possible.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I said we're only going to deal with local as a single point.
Oh no.
Come on, you...
No. We have accurate measurements of local, even less than, like you can't say that because that's nothing. You're saying a nowhere, a no thing is the only place you can be accurate. Nowhere.
No, you said you want to be as accurate as possible.
And you said you can do that nowhere. Yeah, nowhere. A point is that of which has no parts. It's a nothing. And that's the only place you think you can be accurate.
No, you asked whether we're going to be the most accurate. So I said we're going to use a point.
Yeah, a point is a nowhere, nothing.
That would be the most accurate, using one single point on the surface.
And a point is that of which has no parts.
Well, that's what we're going to use here.
Okay. So that's you, right? So let's say you wanted to be, I don't know, say within, I don't know, over 2% over 100 meters, right? If you wanted to do that. Wait, what?
So this is what you would
what would
do
you class as local then?
You would go out and you would pick a certain distance.
Would 100 meters be local?
The deviation from horizontal.
Would you class? Would you class 100 meters as being local?
Plane or whether on a globe Earth and what size the globe Earth would be.
Would you call 100 meters local? And what tool would you use to measure that 100 meters the most accurately that you could within a local framework? Right, of course, not wanting to go too far beyond local. But, I mean, 100 meters, is that okay? Could you say that's local?
You can calculate the amount of variance you're going to have over 100 meters.
Well, let's say you've got a 100 meter water level. Then could you say that is local to the water level? Both ends are local to the water level. But then that would make local dependent upon the water level, wouldn't it? Is that okay? Is that how we're going to govern local? Because we could, if we can do it like that with the water level, and then we could say both ends are local to the water level, then that would be the signifier for locality, wouldn't it? However big you could get a water level. Would that be all right for locality?
It all depends on
because
how
it's one thing, isn't it?
You are with being
classed as one body.
With variance, Bev.
The variance of what, though? The variance of the distance that the water level is?
Bev, this simply, if the Earth is flat, then you can make a horizontal line. No problem. There'd be no variance.
Dude,
you could use any tool
the
you
Earth
want to make a horizontal
isn't flat. We
line.
sort that one for you.
If the Earth is a globe, then the farther you go, the more variance you're going to have.
We've done some of those. That sounds a little bit like logic. That. Do you want to do that again? Give us that again. If
no,
it was okay. It was an if then, wasn't it? You did do an if then. Go on, if you said if the Earth is globe, then there would be more variance over distance of a local or just a distance. Are you saying that if it's a globe, like 100 meters might not be 100 meters? There would be a variance in a like a local measurement.
And I would like to say, when asked to give what distance local would be, he gave a point.
Yeah.
Which is not a distance.
Rakia that is not accurate for what was said, and you know it.
Yeah.
Okay, did I ask you to give me a distance to what
It was
local was?
the most accurate.
No,
it
Bev
was
said
accurate because that's the
what
point that you said it
the
would be
most
at the most
accurate.
accurate. A point. Yeah.
Okay, you want me to ask you again then? Forget about the point. Forget about what Bev said or I said before. I'm going to ask you again. Local. Give me the distance that local is.
It depends on what we're doing.
Yeah. The maximum distance there. Should put it the maximum.
It depends on what we're doing. It depends, as I said to you, Bev, how
Measuring
much
water.
variance you're comfortable with, for instance.
Yeah. And I said
What are
100
we
meters.
measuring?
How much variance do you want? Because you said if there's variance, if it's a globe, there would be variance. So variance of what? A distance. Is that what you're saying? That there would be a variance in a distance locally, and that distance variance would change it local? Go on, explain it a bit more. I'm still struggling to work out what the fuck you're talking about, to be honest. But I mean, go on. The variance of a distance. Can I confirm? Are we talking about a variance of a distance that you sort of require on your globe?
No.
No. Okay. What variance are we talking about then?
If you don't know, Bev, then I'm just going to sit back here and chuckle to myself.
Okay. So a non-defined variance of something is what we would have and need to help you prove your globe. But we can't state what the variance is. It's not a variance of a distance.
Not needed.
What's the variance of? How wet something is, maybe? I don't know. A variance of shine.
Well, Paige is really confused.
Variance of smoothness. Well, come on, what's the variance? You've got us all wondering.
No, everybody understands, Bev, just not you.
Can anybody else then that understands what variance he's talking about that would help us signify local to help him prove a globe through locality, the variance of locality?
You're talking to a guy that thinks a 6 foot level isn't level.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking to a guy that didn't know that a spirit level isn't 100% accurate.
Good
And says he
mimicking.
uses
Well
it every
done,
day and is a
you.
bricklayer.
What is 100% accurate? If a level's not accurate, what would you use?
Variance. It'd help him prove his globe. I mean, that's maybe sometimes. Is that the variance? Sometimes it might be level. Sometimes it might not be level. And that means that's the variance you need. Come on, Alpha. What's the fucking variance? Or are you just going to prove to everybody you say words that don't fucking mean anything?
Bev, I am completely fine with you not understanding.
I knew he was going to say that. I told the guy next to me, listen to this. He's going to say he doesn't understand. Who's laughing at who?
If Bev doesn't understand when you're setting horizontal that the
Nice
farther
call.
away that you go, that there's going to be more variance.
Variance of what? Horizontal?
The surface of the Earth. That is not my problem. He doesn't.
The horizontal has a variance.
Again, you don't understand. You're misunderstanding.
So what's the variance then? Of the surface, the topology that moves and that varies. I mean, that obviously, yeah. Is that what you mean? The variance of the topology proves a globe to you, does it?
No.
No. Okay. The variance of... Go on, give us a... What? The variance of the horizontal, then. Do you think the horizontal varies over distance?
Well, horizontal is horizontal, and horizontal is not level. Do you agree, Bev?
No variance then?
Do you agree or no with that statement?
No.
No, you disagree?
You okay, Alpha?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Mm-hmm. So, like, you've been around here all day, and you've not managed to actually state anything. How well do you think you've done, obfuscation-wise? What's the team marking you at? Because you are here, you are here,
confused,
you
Bev,
are
I can
here
assure you,
imagining that you're talking to flat earthers
100%,
and defending the
anyone that
globe
has gotten
against a
confused
level.
has to do with them and them only.
Yeah. Are you defending the global level for blue marble? Are you? Or is
No,
it for
I have
Jesse
nothing to do with blue.
Kozlowski?
Nothing to do with Jesse either.
But it was Jesse that said that the water level drops away from horizontal, and that's what you have to go with now, right?
Well, I agree with that. Don't you?
Absolutely not, because any drop from horizontal would be an elevation change. It's strange that you haven't really grasped that yet.
It wouldn't be. That's your misunderstanding, and we've already went over that.
Yeah, see, but you don't know anything about surveying, and you specifically haven't done anything to do with differential leveling. You know nothing of it.
You
So it's hardly
disagree with
surprising that you
Ordnance
don't
Survey,
know
Main
what an
Surveyor,
elevation change is or how it's measured.
Jesse Kozlowski, any surveyor that doesn't support what you say is not a true surveyor.
What? Any surveyor that I've asked has said, like real surveyors, when I've seen them at the side of the street doing actual surveying, and asked them if level is horizontal, they've said yes. Now, the only person that hasn't said yes is Jesse Kozlowski. In fact, Jesse Kozlowski specifically said that he didn't say that the level isn't horizontal. He made a point of saying that. Jesse Kozlowski has not said that the level is not horizontal. He said that. You have, though. And Blue has. And all of these other people have. So how do you think Jesse Kozlowski has aided you in saying that level isn't horizontal when he hasn't said that himself? He just got you to say it for him.
No issue, Bev. No issue at all.
Okay, so just you and Blue Marble Science then that have said that level isn't horizontal. Because Jesse Kozlowski specifically said that he didn't say that. Because Jesse Kozlowski knows that level is horizontal.
You're not getting the whole picture. I'm okay with that. It's your problem, not mine.
I've not got a problem with it. I know.
No.
Yeah.
I know you don't have a problem with it.
So paint us this picture. You have a canvas. Show us how level is not horizontal.
But he draws a ball.
I bet so too. Come on, Picasso. You have your canvas. Show us. Draw it for us.
Leveling. That's good.
It's been in chat multiple times, SE. The fact that you can't see isn't my issue. Again.
Oh, I got it. Okay, let's check this out. Wow.
Trigonometric leveling. Look at that. Using triangles. There's a shocker.
Do they have straight lines?
Well, the horizontal line and the vertical line, they're the two that form a right angle. Like he shows there. That's handy.
Page really thinks that you need if a scale model is
Are you
done
divining
flat,
thoughts?
that
Have
it
you been
proves
scrying
that
again?
the Earth is flat.
Have you been scrying again?
If it's done to scale, yeah.
No. Sorry, Paige.
Yeah, what's that gap there? Does that look like the horizontals rising? It does look like a horizontal. Isn't that tricking it? Are you sure?
I'm sure that that horizontal is horizontal.
You're sure that that horizontal is horizontal?
Correct.
When it looks like it's sloping upwards.
So if everybody can see point B and point F,
Says
both of those
assume
are the
90.
same elevation.
Yeah. Why does
A
it
and
say
G,
assume
same
90?
elevation. Do we all agree with that?
It says assume 90, but then it has a gap underneath it. I mean, what's that about? So you are definitely using the triangle with a right angle there, like a 180 degree triangle when you're doing the...
This picture looks like elevation drop.
It's crazy that they are teaching this stuff. And funny that Mike, I
Who's
specifically
teaching that
said
stuff?
B,
What do you mean? It's crazy.
I said B and F, and Mike has circled E because Mike is really, really good at listening and
Because
understanding.
that's the tool, isn't it? The tool is establishes a horizontal line of reference.
Oh, and Mobius is confused too. He saw Mike circle E, and he thinks that I didn't say B and F. They're all
Yeah, but
confused.
that's the triangle you're using.
It's amazing, Bev.
Where's
you
that
can
other
even
bit come
say
from?
something, depict
He's
it
literally not
directly,
using
and they get confused about it.
90 from that. And then he just goes on and on about how we all don't understand when it's blatantly obvious. He's the one that's misunderstanding.
Paige, I said B and F. I'm not
Yeah.
misunderstanding anything.
What does saying B and F mean? What
Mike
did you
thinks
mean
that
by B and F?
they're on the look, Bev. What he circled, B and F, point B and point F. I said they're of the same elevation.
Okay. So what's the horizontal then? Is there an elevation change between the horizontal at E and F? That distance, E and F. What is that in relation to your drawing there?
That would be an elevation change.
Okay, so that's a not measured elevation change, or is that the measured elevation change from the horizontal? Which is the elevation change? Does the horizontal have the elevation change, or does the level have the elevation change?
No elevation change in level, Bev.
So the horizontal has an elevation change over distance.
Over distance, yes.
So level is curved.
So yeah, so
horizontal
it's got a
is not.
slope on it.
Correct.
Horizontal has a
Oh,
slope.
Horizontal's not horizontal anymore. It
has a slope. Yeah, it has to have a slope.
What?
Because you determined horizontal from a
But
point
mathematically,
on top of a sphere.
mathematically, Alpha, a horizontal line has zero slope.
Hey, Bev, here. Let's.
So is that what you're doing? Are you saying mathematics is wrong whenever they talk about geometry?
No, we're gonna say mathematics here. We're talking about a sphere.
Okay.
Horizontal line. View it as a tangential line.
Okay, so what we can say is, from what you're saying there, is that horizontal mathematically has zero slope, but when you use it practically, it actually does have a slope, and that slope is known. It's a measured slope. It's a measured drop, right? The difference between level and horizontal has an elevation
Open
change.
window.
It's measurable. Did Jesse? I'm glad Jesse Kozlowski told you that.
Right.
So all we need to do is sort out some tools to work that out. It should be easy to have a word with some surveyors about this. I'm glad you've come round, Alpha. Is this blue marble help you with this one? The elevation change of a horizontal. Jesse Kozlowski said it as well. It's measurable. Let's get the boys back together. Jesse, if you're listening, we've got some work to do. It appears that it's measurable and we can now do this measurement. We can sort this. We can end this stuff.
Bev,
with
just so you know, that
just need
comes
to
out of
measure.
a textbook. That comes out of a textbook,
Yeah,
Bev. Just
yeah,
so
but
you
we're
know.
not bothered. We can measure it.
No, it doesn't.
Everybody,
come from Blue, it doesn't come from
Alpha's
Jesse.
come round and helped us and said that there is an elevation change of a horizontal. Now, we've got tools that do horizontals. I know mathematics say there's no slope, but I mean, Alpha says there is a slope. So, I mean, and Jesse Kozlowski says there is as well, and it's measurable. So, well done. Let's go. Now, can anyone think of a method for us to be able to change, well, to measure an elevation change of the horizontal? Surely they must have done some measurements somewhere at some point that we could use to check. What do you reckon? Is there like a standard benchmark or something that we could use to measure this slope of horizontal? Does it get more?
Preferably something that isn't talking about the presupposed globe and where you could use it in a practical instance, Alpha.
Yeah, we've got to do it in reality. Yeah, of course. I mean, it doesn't really matter what the globe or flat or whatever you imagine anything to be. We're talking about measuring something in reality. That can definitely be done. We can definitely measure things in reality.
Where has anything been presupposed? I don't know who said that, but...
Well, yeah, I know you wouldn't presuppose anything. You've got measurements to back everything up, haven't you? You've got guys with methods that say you can definitely do the measurements.
Well,
Good times, good times.
Measurements. This is posted.
You've got Rumpus, haven't you? You've got Rumpus doing his Bedford level thing. He's going to be able to back you up there.
Sorry, who was it before that said something about presupposed ideas? Page, these words and drawings are depicting actual measurements, and those measurements are posted, just so you know.
Be good. When are we going to get together to do these measurements? Do you know anyone? Do you reckon Rumpus is going to do them for you?
I don't know. Are you looking to do it in your location, Bev?
We did one, but yeah, we can do it again. We will be doing it again. My lad's doing his exams at the minute, so can't really do that much at the minute. But I mean, yeah, it's coming up summertime, isn't it? Testing time. Testing season. We can go out and do water levels stuff.
Did you? Somebody mentioned it before in here.
How
like
much?
A month ago.
How
Did you
much
do your
slope
water
of a
level test on
horizontal would
water
you
or something,
imagine?
Bev?
How much slope
Hey,
of a
Bev.
horizontal would you imagine over 400 meters?
All right, we should build it there.
Hey, Bev. Sorry, I was talking there.
Yeah. Do you have
Somebody mentioned a little while back that you were going to do a water level test on a canal or something. Did you do that, or are you going to do that?
straight line? It's a shared straight line segment test. Realizing Euclid, we're calling it. Yeah, we've already done that. We did it last year. But yeah, we're going to be doing it again. We'll show you all the geometric principles for it first.
You have your test method all written out that can be posted for people to look at?
No, not yet. Yeah, we can develop it though, right?
Yeah, it depends on what you want to test for.
Yeah. Well, the slope of horizontal. It seems like you've said that there is a slope of horizontal, so it seems like it might be worth checking. Jesse Kozlowski says it's measurable, so it might be worth trying to measure that, right? See, but we're just doing a straight line test. We can show you how to do the straight line test, right? And then you can use that straight line test to measure the slope of horizontal.
Do you have a tool that can visually determine a horizontal line across 400 meters across the water level?
Yeah. We've got a water level, and we've got auto levels.
You need to
and we've got.
You would need to verify that.
You need to look at it. Yeah, of course you do. Like, don't say you can't do it blindfolded.
Meters.
Of course you need to look at it.
The whole 400 meters, you need to look at the level from
you
one
can.
side
Well,
to the other side.
we could put people at each point where the water level comes to, and they can look at it. We could put cameras there as well. Put cameras there.
You'd need to look from one side to the next. So
a sight line.
That can visibly
sight
see
line.
400 meters.
A sight line. Are you talking about a sight line?
So what tool are you going to use?
Alpha. Alpha. Are you talking about a sight line? Or are you just talking about looking at it? Because we can all look at it. Like I say, we can put cameras on it. Alpha, don't try and run away. Are you talking about a sight line?
Bev, I've said 5 times now.
Yeah. Water levels don't need a sight line.
You don't need a sight line. I said that earlier.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
You want to test?
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
Oh, holy shit!
Explain how you don't.
You don't.
And I'll explain why you do.
Because you don't.
I'll explain right now.
Because a water level has 2 points. Water level has 2 points.
Yes,
the height
it
of the water, one left to rest. Now, that's a horizontal, yeah?
As I showed in the picture above, if you
I'm not looking at the pictures.
At one side, say 60 feet elevation, and the other side of the water level you set at 60 feet elevation. If the Earth is curved, that would not be a perfect horizontal line from
Please
one
define
side
curved.
to the other.
Please define curved. Sounds like a vacuous statement.
If you
Please
don't
define
understand
curved.
what curved is,
Please,
Bev, then
please
that's
define
your
it.
problem.
Please define it.
Doesn't need defining. It's common
Just
knowledge.
define it, dude. For fuck's sake.
Doesn't need it.
What do you mean it doesn't need it?
Knowledge.
We need.
I don't know what you mean by curve.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I know. So please tell us.
Then fuck off. What are you doing
No.
here? You won't have a proper conversation.
Don't plaster your ignorance all over the place for everybody to see. It's embarrassing for you.
Don't be so fucking condescending, you prick.
I'll be condescending to you, Bev, because you're plastering your ignorance here for everybody to see as well.
Stop projecting, Alpha.
You are a total muppet.
So as I said, if you want to determine the general shape of the planet,
Alpha, you're a fucking nobody. You don't know anything about surveying. You don't know anything about geometry. You don't know anything about what we're doing here. You're just a naysayer that hasn't got a fucking clue. You can't identify anything. You just say stupid shit because the globe tells you to.
Are measurements. You have no measurements. This
equal elevation.
Where's the actual measurement?
Where's the drop? You've got equal elevation. You've got a horizontal line. You've just drawn it curved for some reason. Now that's a fucking muppet thing to do.
Wow.
2 points, equal elevation, straight line.
Wow. These are measurements that are posted.
Who took those measurements?
A surveyor.
Who?
It's a surveyor.
They're just numbers on a piece of paper. Who?
Do you want to see the credentials, Bev?
No, I just want to. I want you to tell me which surveyor measured that because you've got drop.
I'll go and get
you've got drop wrote on it.
Get these certifications.
Who was the person that wrote drop on that? A drop from horizontal. Who was it that wrote that?
A surveyor.
Yeah.
Alpha, what you're showing is a
and
picture
get
of
their
what we should
credentials
see
for
or should
us.
measure if the Earth was a globe. That's all you're showing. If it was
No,
a
those are
globe, you would
measurements. If you take a look at those are actual
It's a
measurements
stolen
in
concept
reality in a
fallacy.
specific location on the Earth that were taken.
Stolen concept
was
fallacy.
just shown to represent the measurements that were taken.
Looks like those two verticals aren't vertical.
Looks like they are vertical perfectly.
Both
This is
of them.
comical. This is really comical.
They look
It is, SC,
different.
because the fact that you guys can't even comprehend what is there and speak to it is comical.
We can all
Alpha,
comprehend it. We just
you've
don't
got
see it in real
radial,
life anywhere.
not verticals. Verticals would be parallel.
No.
Radials go to the center of a sphere. You use them when you draw your globe, but when you actually go out to measure, you use real verticals, like when you build a house or something.
Here's Paige,
Verticals
let
are
me tell you
parallel.
something that we can all agree on here. If the Earth
Stop saying
is
we'll all
a
agree on something
sphere,
before you've said
then
it.
verticals will converge. If the Earth is flat, verticals will not converge. We can agree on that.
When you say
Verticals
vertical,
are parallel.
what do you mean by vertical? Do you mean the geometric vertical, or do you mean your imagined vertical?
No, he means his imaginary radial verticals.
Yeah. Is it perpendicular to the other line, or is it perpendicular and curving into a ball? Like, come on, dude. Like,
So we hang plumb lines all around the globe. They will converge. If it's not a globe and it's flat, they will not.
They
Those
will
are things that we can
converge. Wait,
agree
whoa,
on.
whoa, whoa. How do you get them to converge?
Or diverge, however you want to say it, because we would be on a sphere, Bev.
I think you're doing actually kind of well there, Alpha, because
So
I
you're
think
just
what you're
begging the
admitting is
question.
that I think what he's admitting there is that if we do this test and it proves incorrect, then the Earth is flat. So now we can show you a bunch of tests where it proves
Well, it depends
incorrect
on
and
if
the
it
Earth is flat.
converges
Or
diverges.
diverges, yeah. I mean, one or the other. There's not much difference in them, really, is there?
Hey, who's laughing at who?
Yeah, I'm laughing right now.
Yeah,
No, we're
I would
laughing at
be.
you,
Heavily.
buddy.
It seems I heard
Because
everyone laughing but you.
you'd have to go out and test it now. No thanks is correct. You can go and run that test, and then they would verify one way or the other
Can
way,
go
whether
do
the Earth is
something.
flat or not.
We can go do one of your theoretical nonsense tests.
Sure, Rakia, go out and do it. I implore
Why
you.
would I do one of your theoretical nonsense tests?
Oh, I'll have a look at yours when you're doing it, though. When are you doing
I
it?
would love, hey, video it.
Well, this surveyor did the test, and they've got measurements. So what's your issue with it?
The measurements are equal elevation, and you've just drawn it as a curve.
Did he measure convergent or divergent? This surveyor.
What's
The plumb
difference
bobs.
between the two,
What's the
Rakia?
Did he measure the verticals converging or diverging, or did he measure the angular difference between the horizontals from one horizontal to another? Right, an angular difference. What exactly did he measure?
I also posted for you, Alpha, the Black Swan, where's the line of visual sight that you required, and I also posted for you the greatest laser experiment FE core with the tool that you were requiring to be used.
Yeah, the FE core laser experiment was quite funny. That's why they went and did it again.
Okay, well then they did it again and it worked. So there you go.
No.
Repeatable.
It's been debunked big time.
Would you require it be repeatable?
And the black swan's an interesting one since refraction.
Vince,
was
you
clearly
can't talk
shown.
about logic, so I
Those
wouldn't
were
go
your
there
two
if I were you.
requirements met. Those were
And
your
what
two
two
requirements.
requirements are those?
You wanted
Did
to
I make
visually.
requirements?
You wanted to visually observe the drop that was not observed, and you wanted to use a tool that would measure a horizontal over a large body of water.
No, I was talking about Bev's experiments specifically.
I'm
I
talking
haven't
about the
done
ones that you
any
got here.
experiments specifically. None. So what are you talking about?
And
Show us your-
Why are you
show us your
talking about
photo
something
pen.
that doesn't exist and never has existed?
What, your test that you're planning on
A
doing?
test or an experiment? What are you talking about? Are you equating the two? Are they the same thing now? Tests and experiments.
Well, one would just be a test would be essentially presuming an outcome, whereas an experiment wouldn't be, correct?
Well, it wouldn't be correct. What
No, you
wouldn't
would
be
go-
correct? An
If you
experiment
don't
wouldn't be
under-
correct.
If you don't understand that, Bev, that's totally fine.
What wouldn't be correct?
Well, you tell me.
The test or the experiment?
He's saying you can't test to see if water is wet if you expect it to be wet. Therefore, it's a faulty experiment.
Okay, so you have to assume that level
Therefore,
is
yeah, he's right.
horizontal
It's not-
in order
it's
to
not an
find a
experiment
curve.
because you presume the outcome.
Okay, so what do you presume anything if you were doing a test of level?
Yeah.
So you would presume
the
something.
assumed level curve.
So I would say presume that the Earth is not flat, and I would go and test that.
It's
Or
not
I would
flat.
run an
Yeah, it's
experiment to
definitely
see
good.
if it's
See,
flat or not
elevation
flat.
changes, yes, not flat.
Topography, Bev. You need to ignore it.
Oh, right. So you ignore topography when trying to measure whether it's flat or not. Are you sure?
When you're talking about the geometric shape of the Earth, yes, you don't pay attention to the topography. Correct.
When have you ever done that?
Oh, Rakia. Now, these are the reasons why I laugh at you guys. These are the reasons why I laugh.
Yeah. When, I'll repeat it. When have you done that? Taken
Many
the topography off the surface of the Earth and measured it.
Many times conceptually. I don't sit here and go, hey, the Earth isn't flat because it's got mountains and hills.
Many times conceptually.
Yeah.
Very seriously. Now, this is serious. Many times conceptually.
Right.
Now that's funny.
Oh,
Now,
it is
who's
Pete.
laughing
Really
at
funny.
who?
Oh, I'm laughing at you.
Rakia.
Rakia. I am definitely laughing.
hear you laughing.
It's amazing that everybody here is a flat earther and
Oh,
afraid to admit
come
it.
on,
Baby's on us because he's hurt.
Oh my
poor
goodness.
baby.
Where do they get? I hope you're getting paid, man. I really do. Because if you're doing this on your own, it's pathetic, bro. I'll respect you if you're getting paid, but no other way.
So, why is everybody here to admit that they're a flat earther?
Are you as well? Do you think this is a flat Earth meeting and that's why you're here? It's not.
Oh, I think you guys talk about flat Earth all the time.
No, that's you. Did you not notice?
No,
that's
bring
you,
it up.
you dickhead.
literally say the opposite.
The only time we say flat Earth is when we say the Earth isn't flat.
Yeah.
Tell us again how you think up is down.
I don't. Up is away from the surface. Down is towards the surface, SE. Concept to understand.
So my up is the same as Page's up.
Yeah. No, no. Well, maybe. Conceptually.
Is it or isn't
Absolutely
it?
the same.
My up is the same as Page's up.
Your up is the same as everybody's up. Everybody's up is away from the surface of the Earth.
What about
Even
when you go
lower.
below the surface?
Yeah.
When have you ever been below the surface?
All the time. I'll scuba dive and do all sorts of things. I've dug holes, been in caves.
So
like
then
2 weeks ago, I was in a cave real deep in there.
We'll make it more clear for everybody to understand. Up is away from the center of the Earth.
Okay.
When have you been to the center of the Earth? How do you know there's a center? How many licks does it take to get to the center of the lollipop Earth? And when you get to the center, does that down to the center of the Earth now become your up? on the other side of the center?
That's a good one.
Sure.
Yeah, yeah. So you can
Sure,
go
yeah, if you
down
dig all
far
the way
enough
to
to
the
go
middle-
back up.
Conceptually.
Yeah, dig all the way to the middle, and then you'll have to dig upwards again.
Don't forget to lick.
Yeah, I have a meme on that. You remember that
Post it.
owl
It's
with
good.
the lollipop? Yeah.
Good for
I
humor.
knew laughing would be a thing today, but I thought he was supposed to be the one laughing.
I am laughing.
No, it was chuckling.
Uh-huh.
He doesn't laugh. He
Wow.
chuckles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. This is pretty funny.
Yep. Yes, it is. I agree with you on that
As
one.
long as he's enjoying it. I mean,
Yeah,
seems
he's
like he's having a good
entertained.
time.
Yeah. I haven't laughed like this in a long time when he said conceptually.
Check out my meme, Rakia.
Oh boy. Don't tell me what to do, SC.
Do it now. I command you.
Ooh. I like that center. Inner core. You know it's molting and it's moving, right? And it shifts depending on where the what do they call it? The pear shape is. It shifts over.
It looks pretty spherical to me. I don't see no pear shape there.
Nah, you don't understand.
So
I guess I'm looking at it from the wrong side.
you'd call that a lollipop, SE?
I would call it a cartoon, a pathetic attempt to teach children propaganda. Propaganda.
Reality.
Yeah, reality. You've never been any of those places.
You don't need to go to those places to know it's reality.
Yeah, you can just conceptualize, right? You can just theorize. You can just imagine. You can just use your fantasy model to
Yeah, you can-
imagine all
so
your
you can
theoretical nonsense. Yeah, that's what you could do.
You can live your life and go, hey, the moon is not real, the sun's not real, none of the planets are real because I haven't traveled there.
Okay. That's fine with me if you want to do that. That doesn't seem too unreasonable.
Oh, it's extremely unreasonable. I'm glad you're okay with it though.
It's extremely unreasonable and you're glad I'm okay with it?
Yeah.
I too could be a glober, huh? When I was a glober,
Anyway, SC, did
when I was a
you say
glober, was
that
I
that was a
done then?
lollipop?
The shame of it is, Alpha,
Sorry,
is
say
that
again?
you. Okay.
Did you, SC, did you say that you thought that that was kind of depicting a lollipop?
Yeah, I've seen lollipops like that.
Yeah,
the
where you
magic-
been? How old are you?
The magical
Yeah?
string of gravity.
I'd
that's
say
holding the
that
moon
that
above
looks
the
like
head.
a gobstopper to me.
Well, in my day, they had lollipops like that. And there was a cartoon owl that would ask, how many licks does it take to get to the center of the lollipop?
Yeah. Of course there was. What planet is this guy from?
You sure you're American?
What, you've never seen a gobstopper before?
Who said that? Well, of course we've seen Godstoppers.
Alpha,
This is not bad.
the shame of it all is that those in here who were presented with the evidence then were able to change their minds. The sad part is that you're presented with it and still just you're making a conscious decision to live in a fantasy. It's
A conception.
What evidence would that be?
Water doesn't curve.
Well, have you measured that?
Yes.
Over a large
Yes.
distance, like
Yes.
a lake? Okay,
Yes.
what? Where? Show your measurements.
Where? There was zero. There was only 3/4 of an inch plus or minus over 2.7 miles.
Where did you measure it? Show all the measurements you took.
Did he
Equipment
just
you used,
shush?
Everything.
Did he just shush someone?
I didn't shush anybody.
There's plenty of evidence out there, Alpha. You're deciding not to look at it. It's okay.
No,
and then just
I've-
live in a fantasy. Do it.
I've looked at all of it.
All right.
None of it shows flat Earth.
Yes, because the Earth is not flat.
He's a shusher?
So it's a globe then, Bev?
What?
So I'm glad you
flat means
say that it's
globe?
not flat, so it's a globe. Welcome to
You're
the club.
moronic, man.
Wow.
You need it bad, right?
Yeah.
Rakia, anyway,
Go and
are you
go
gonna
and draw
post
some
the
circles,
testing you
dude.
did
Go
and
on.
all the
Yeah,
Off you
measurements?
go.
I took a phone call. It was my workers trying to cash their payroll checks. Sorry about that. It just kicks me off of here. You probably said I ran.
Yeah,
So
I was
I run my
convinced you
payroll. I
ran.
run
Yeah.
my
No,
payroll on
Bev
Thursdays.
thought that I kicked you or muted you or something like that, I think.
Oh boy, yeah, and you can go do this test too. You can go to your local rental, get a theodolite, get some wood, some grade stakes, post them over some static water over long distance, make you a benchmark, put it 2 foot above the water, 1 foot, whatever, just a starting point. Create a horizontal plane in any direction. Close that loop now. Make sure you did it accurately. And then measure down from the top of those grade stakes to the surface of the water.
Why would you do that?
To see if what the water's doing.
That wouldn't do that at all.
If you created a horizontal plane above static water, it wouldn't show what the water's doing underneath the horizontal plane. Are you sure?
Wow. Your misunderstanding of this is shocking, Rakia. I'm surprised.
Misunderstanding of
Yeah,
the
dude,
piece
that's
of
not going to keep working that because there's no
No, that doesn't work
misunderstanding.
like
It's
that.
yours,
Actually,
obviously.
Wow.
I think you don't know what a horizontal
That
is.
is absolutely shocking.
Okay, it's shocking. Go ahead, explain how. How would you do it?
Shocking that you don't think you can
Rakia,
measure the
do me a
difference.
favor and post the measurements that you took and the method that you used so that I can detail what went wrong.
Well, how do you know something went wrong if you don't know the method and the measurements?
Just the
You're just
description you
assuming.
gave.
Is that presumption? Bloody hell.
So
Oh,
you
now
don't
he's an
think
expert.
there's tools out there to create a horizontal plane? Are you denying science, sir? Because I assure you, I use them every day.
Over
You
what
hear that?
distance are they accurate?
You hear this?
Over
I
what
pulled over
distance
just for you.
are they accurate?
Obfuscation again.
Over
Fuck's
what
sake.
distance are they accurate?
Holy
Rakia?
shit, you've been here all day, Alpha. Are you ever going to stick to anything? Or are you just going to keep claiming other people's? Or have to
avoid my
prove whatever
question?
you fucking can't?
Bev, I've posted measurements. I've posted depictions of measurements. I've been
You've
the
just
only one
posted
posting
fucking
evidence.
pictures,
You
dude, with
haven't
numbers
posted
on them.
evidence at all. Nobody here has posted any evidence.
Yeah, they have.
Dude,
They've
you
pictured
look when they
loads of
post it.
evidence, you
We know the
dickhead.
water's level. We know. We
Yeah.
know
Do you-
how water flows.
When are
Never
you
lived in
going
Mexico.
to get into the fact of the perpendicularity of the fact that you've got two different verticals and two different horizontals conceptually? You've got a geometric
it
one
works on a
that's
sphere,
proved by
Bev.
mathematics and another one that you can't prove at all. It's just conceptual in your mind. You keep conflating the two constantly.
I had described the situation yesterday. So Alpha, if you took a level, like say a 12-inch level, and held it in your space in your hand, is there a way to get just from end to end that 12-inch level to be completely horizontal with zero curve? From point to point, 12 inches.
It would be reasonably accurate, but not perfect.
Okay. So right. So if we can get it almost perfect, right? I understand. Right. So we get it just about perfect, right? Digital level with water level on it, right? Now let's say on the ends of each of these levels, there's an interlocking system to make sure the next level that you attach to it is perfectly level as well, right? With the next then within 24 inches, would that be level and perfectly horizontal?
No, the further you go, the more off it would be from the starting point.
Yeah, that's good. That thanks, Alpha, because we do a shared straight line
You're not a
segment.
bricklayer, are you? No thanks.
So
Be
Alpha,
careful,
when you
mate.
get so further off, you say so is it bending in the space that you're in? The 12 inches.
Slightly, yeah.
Mm.
It's going away.
So when you
conforming to the
I'll just
surface.
right. So since you're jumping, I'll jump too. So when we build a bridge this way. We build it in segments in a warehouse, and it's perfectly level. And then we attach and interlock those pieces together and build a straight bridge across 100 miles. So you're saying that it bends within its space-time, and that horizontal is curved, so it cannot be observed.
Bendy's on.
So if you made something perfectly horizontal
himself.
and you did it in small segments and made sure that you verified as you went that it is perfectly horizontal, and then you laid it on the surface of the Earth, it would still be horizontal, but the surface would deviate away from it over distance because the Earth is not horizontal. It's not flat.
Okay, I just wanted to see which kind of level you believed in. So the bridge then would stick out in the air, 1,000 feet off the ground then.
Correct. This essentially, if it was a long bridge, the center, if we looked at it from a horizontal perspective from the side from distance, the center would seem of less
Sorry,
elevation
from the
than
side of a horizontal. You do realise the horizontal's a plane. So which side of the plane would you be wanting to look at it from?
Are you're going to tell me that a bridge is a plane now?
No, we're talking about the horizontal.
No, we're talking about the bridge.
Okay, so which side are you talking about viewing the bridge from?
You can look at it from either side.
Like an elevation profile type thing?
Yes.
Brilliant. So you're talking about looking at an elevation profile of a bridge?
Yes.
And that's going to prove what?
We're not trying to prove anything. He was just
Is that
asking
going
a
to
question about
prove
something.
that horizontal is the orientation of the elevation grid that you're using in order to establish your baseline?
Well, it would be pretty easy if we built a bridge like he suggested we built a bridge, and then we laid a bridge on the Earth in that manner and looked at it from the side. If the Earth was not curved, then it would be horizontal and level across the surface, across the entire length. If the Earth is curved, if it's not flat, then the
You mean
middle would be of less elevation
you've not
than
established
either
it
side.
yet? You keep
If
coming
we're
up with
using it to
if
test
the
them,
Earth
we're
is
using it to
curved was the one
test.
you just did. Then one. What was the then?
Sorry, Bev. I don't know when you started talking over me and missed what
You
I said.
well, no, I just missed. I missed out what the logical statement was. You said if the Earth is curved, then something, and I missed it. I just want you to clarify it. What was the then? If the Earth,
The middle of the bridge would be of lower elevation than the sides of the bridge.
lower.
Oh,
That's
dear.
what I thought he said.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
So,
what
and
about,
if you
what about
wanna-
Lake Pontchartrain then?
So
if
Alpha,
you
if we
want, if you
begin,
want to easily visualize what I'm saying, it's get that Swiss ball and put a meter stick on top of it. It's touching in the center and the sides are raised away. That's what it would be like if the
Stick
Earth
on
was curved
ball.
like a sphere.
If you want to imagine it, put a stick on a ball.
Alpha, so so if we imagine this bridge started at 100-foot elevation from sea level, because you need to go over the sea or large bodies of water, that's what the bridge is for. If we imagine it started from 100-foot elevation from sea level, that's pretty high, really, but that would leave the other end of the bridge at the 100-mile bridge 5,134 feet above the next of its landing point, and I can't imagine a 5,000-foot column and how many you'd have to build 5,000 feet columns. Do you see them anywhere in the world?
5,000 feet columns.
According to your math and what you told me to expect, I should expect a 5,000-foot column at the other end of the bridge.
How long? Sorry, I must have missed this. How long would the bridge be where you would need a 5,000 foot column?
Oh, fucking
Pretty much
local.
equivalent-
It's just a
pretty
local
much-
one. Local.
There's the one in China that's about, I think it's 110.
He
miles.
said the bridge was made in a factory, all designed, like perfectly so it fits together on a horizontal. Yeah,
Yeah, so I'm gonna.
I like that bit.
No, I didn't say that.
So it
That
definitely
was
doesn't
what No
curve.
Thanks said. Spot on.
Yeah, I know, but in reality, that's what happens, right? They want to build a straight bridge, they make all the parts so they're all like on a plane, yeah, because that's the easiest way to do it. You can't.
No,
That's how it works.
not the 100 whatever really long bridge. That is absolutely not how they do it.
What? How
What,
do
do
they?
they put
How
a
do
little
they
bend
make
in it,
bridges
do they?
then? Big ones.
They make the foundation first. They lay the foundation and the pillars in the water or wherever it's going to be
Right, so the
going
5,100
over,
foot
and then they
columns.
segment it in.
So you have a 100-foot column at one end. This is just what you're. I'm just trusting you, Alpha. There's a 100-foot column at one end, and then there's a 5,100-foot column at the other end. And in the very center, the water is actually touching the bottom of the bridge at the 6 mile at the 50-mile mark, like that ball
Pretty cool.
and that razor.
Is
I
that
just want to
like
go.
in reality? I don't know what bridge you're referring to. Honestly, I'm ignorant to that.
So I can make a bridge by your standards. That's what it would look like from the side view that you described
Come
to me.
on, don't play
Yeah,
with his
if
imagination.
if
He'll take
no,
it.
but
He'll go run with it.
Bev, we're not. I'm not confirming. I'm not saying that he's saying that the Earth.
No,
is
I'm
he's
saying
not
that
wrong,
he's
though.
giving you your fantasy, and you're gonna play in that fucking sandpit
No,
with him.
No, he's not.
He's gonna go. Oh, I'm coming there
He's
with
just,
you. Yeah,
he's
oh, yeah.
presenting.
I would love
Bev,
to
he's
see it.
presenting conceptually that if this model was this, if we did this, then we would expect.
Yeah,
to see
like
that.
you
I'm
couldn't
not running
state
with
what the
anything.
them was when you said if.
Bev, there's no problem with this. He's not saying that he believes the Earth is a globe or trying to support it. He's asking a question on, would we see this if?
Yeah.
I'm fun. What's wrong with that?
I know, that's what I'm saying. You love it.
Well, are you against people asking questions and
No, I'm
presenting
just,
things like that?
no, I'm just saying you've been talking all day about your objections to things, and he's just give you everything that you want to be talking about.
No, I'm not going to go down and just start harping on it. He's just asking a question, so that's it. Fine.
So you agree with that then?
Yeah.
It's bridge, yeah, at 51.
Yeah,
how far was that column at the other end of the bridge?
Well, you'd have to take a look at the distance that would be, and then expect
He said
based
100
upon
miles, didn't he?
the geometry of the Earth, how far you would
What's
need
the
to
geometry
stick
of
up and
the
have a
Earth?
pillar.
What are you talking about? I know what geometry is, but is there a specific geometry that you're thinking of?
You don't understand geometry of a sphere?
The geometry of a sphere. We've been through this before. You said it before. It doesn't really mean anything. Do you mean the definition of a sphere within Euclidean geometry? Or do you mean something else? What do you mean when you say the geometry of a sphere? What is it you mean? Please. Please define geometry of a sphere. Can you not?
Well, can you define a sphere?
Can you not define the geometry of a
God.
sphere, Alpha?
We did that before, didn't we?
No,
So I
I
don't
did.
understand how you're
You
so
didn't.
confused by it.
Can you not remember?
No, I
Did you
did.
forget?
I posted it.
Alpha, can you
posted it.
Alpha, do you know just off? No, I mean, are you aware of any engineers who were using spherical trigonometry to build any structures?
No,
maybe in the
no,
1800s,
please don't do that.
1900s?
It's not spherical trigonometry. Spherical trigonometry is based upon the Euclidean sphere, right? It's not spherical geometry. They're different things. Please do not give him that. Now, Alpha.
Well, spherical geometry is a thing, Bev.
So you're talking about spherical geometry when you're talking about the geometry of a sphere.
I never said that. You're the one that just brought
Well,
up spherical geometry.
What? No, you just said spherical geometry. What the fuck are you talking about? Please define the geometry of a sphere.
That I didn't say spherical geometry now, did I?
Please define the geometry of a sphere.
You really struggle with this, Bev. You're putting words in people's mouths all the time?
I'm asking you a question. Please define the geometry of a sphere.
He's not putting words in your mouth. He's asking you.
Go on. Please. You're talking about it, so please define it. It seems like a vacuous statement. If you mean the geometry of a Euclidean sphere, you can talk about the diameter of it or the radius of it, right? Preferably the diameter, seeing it's a sphere in solid geometry, right? That would be how all you need to define it. So is that what you mean? Do you mean just simply the dimensions of a Euclidean sphere? Or are you going to struggle to answer that one?
You've confused the fuck out of him. Yep.
No, Paige, nothing here confuses me.
Go on, just attempt to answer it. See if you can. For a bet.
I wasn't listening to you, Bev.
Yeah, I know you because it's really hard for you to define a sphere and the geometry of it.
A three-dimensional solid having curved surface.
Brilliant.
Without any flat surface or a vertex or an edge.
Now, what's the geometry of the sphere? What is it you're talking about when you say that?
That wasn't geometric.
What?
You know what a vertex is. You know what an edge is.
Yeah, you said the geometry of a sphere. Please define it.
Is a vertex or an edge not defined in geometry, Bev? Do you not understand those terms?
Do you have an edge of a sphere?
Oh my God, Bev.
Do you?
Bev, did you not listen to what I just said?
You said something about edges, and I'm asking you, do you think a sphere has an edge?
So you didn't listen to what I said. Great.
Yeah, once again, I'm trying to get a clarifier, and it seems like you're obfuscating it like fuck again. You're wasting time, Alpha.
I'm not obfuscating anything. You don't understand. That is your
issue.
issue.
How many times do you want to say that today?
How many times do you want to get confused?
This is getting a bit old. I'm not too sure what everybody else thinks, but I mean, Alpha, you just go round and round in circles saying nothing.
Or you could say round and round in spheres.
What? Could you?
How many circles make up a sphere, Bev?
How many straight lines make a circle?
Well, you got to answer the question you were asked first before you ask another one.
Go on then.
I already asked it twice.
How many circles make a sphere?
Yeah. What do you think?
Infinite. Because they're not real, are they? The solid sphere obviously is, because you can look at that and you can say that's a ball. But the sphere that you want to be imagining is a conceptual thing, isn't it? Tell everyone how your sphere isn't real, Alpha.
Depends on how wide the lines are, Alpha, I guess.
Spherical Earth?
What?
No, Bev,
your
Bev
model
is essentially right. It
what?
would be an infinite number. The spherical Earth is reality.
That's a nice statement.
What about
Right,
Alpha?
now
What
we-
do you know
we need to
about
test it.
Alpha? What do you know about contour lines?
Okay, Alpha, I'm curious, how long have you been on this subject? Not today, just in general. A year, a month?
No, I
A
have been
couple
gone
of
from it
weeks.
for a while.
See
I
how
touched
fresh
on
he
it a
is.
few years ago.
He's a noob, isn't he?
What do you know about contour lines, Alpha? Do you know anything about them?
He knows enough to
Line on a
obfuscate the
map?
fuck out of him and not answer a question.
I did miss the answer.
Joining
You may have said it.
points, a line on a map joining points.
So according to your standards, Alpha, we should, on the bridge example that we were talking about earlier, you had said earlier you would test an experiment. You were trying to differentiate what's an experiment versus test, right? So you had stated that if we don't find those things, If we don't find those 5,000-foot columns, then your test would mean that the surface was level. That was your given standard for the test. So would you be brave enough to search for the evidence of 5,000-foot columns to prove your sphere?
Well, I think we'd have to come up with a test that was more feasible, but along those lines, yeah.
We've got a really good feasible test.
Yeah, have at it.
I don't
Lay it
think
on-
you'll
lay it out.
accept it though. It's about straight lines and shared straight line segments and Euclidean geometry and geometric proofs. I don't think you'd be interested.
How does it apply to the shape of the Earth?
Why do you want to do something with the shape of the Earth? We just do straight line tests, right?
That's what we were talking about, though. So I don't know how your test, you get a great test, is relevant to what we were speaking
But you
about.
see, you are the only one that's that obsessed with the shape of the Earth. Really? Do you not think?
I mean, if we're talking about the shape of the Earth and like what does it, what's more important and all that. I mean, that is a different subject, Alpha. Where I would say that it is important for you to observe objective reality and accept it, so that we could, as a human race, move forward and discover more important things than something that is easily debunkable, like the Earth. But if you guys want to talk about geometry, go for it.
Yeah, so what I reckon is that in order for us to measure or tell the shape of anything, first off, what we need is a baseline that we can establish that we can all agree on. Now, at the minute, it seems like some people say level is a straight line on a horizontal plane, and other people say level is a circle. Now, if that continues to go on, then how are we meant to achieve an understanding of what shape is? Because some people think it's a straight line and some people think it's a circle. And the people that think it's a circle can't define curve. So they can't really say what curve is whenever they're talking about it. Whereas a straight line doesn't really need defining. Unless, of course, the other group of people who like to think that straight lines are also circles. It gets really confusing. So what I was thinking was it'd be a good idea for us to come together so we can all establish what that baseline is. First principles. Let's start off with deciding whether it's a straight line or a circle. I mean, we should be able to do that, shouldn't we? And then from that, once we've got a baseline, we can then go on to establish the shape of things. But if we can't tell the difference between a straight line and a circle to start off with, I mean, how do you expect to tell the shape of anything?
Well,
Is it not good to come to a consensus about whether it's a straight line or a circle?
Well, you'd need to go test that, wouldn't you?
Pardon?
I said you'd need to go test that, wouldn't you?
Would you test it? I mean, have you tested it?
No, I'm saying that you would, something like that, you would come up with an idea and then you would go and test it in reality on the Earth.
Yeah, why we had a straight line test. Because you can do that, can't you? You could test for a straight line. To find a proof.
You could.
Yeah. So what could you think of a method to do that?
Well, then wouldn't it be more interesting than if we got a straight line and we tested whether that line was straight and horizontal, and then we said, oh, let's test whether this deviates or changes in elevation when we compare it to the surface of the Earth. That'd be
well, we
interesting.
could do that secondary, yeah. But first off, we start off with the straight line, whether it's a straight line or not a straight line. That's a good way to start, I would say.
Sounds like Bev is on the fence, Alpha, because originally you were discussing how the plumb lines are actually on a slant and it creates this curve. But then you later conceded that if you interlock these pieces together, they would be straight. So, which kind of horizontal are you on? Because he had just described that there's two types of people typically: those who think that horizontal is curved, and those who accept that level, if interlocked, is a horizontal the whole way across. Which side are you on?
That would be an interesting test. Finally test whether level is horizontal or not. Do you think we could devise a test that would test that, Bev?
What? You don't... Well, yeah, I mean, you can have a go if you want. Like we say, we did proposition number 1, Euclid.
No, we're going to go test this in reality. So how do you
Yeah.
think we would devise a test like that?
How would you devise a test like that? I don't want to give it away. We've already
don't
got
know.
a test. We've already done
I
it.
don't know. That'd be interesting. What would I do?
I don't know.
I guess I could pick a certain distance. Say somebody said something like 6 feet earlier, something that is noticeable and visible, 6 feet, large enough object, make sure that it's perfectly leveled where it is, and then pick a distance away from it and find a way to get a sight line and measure a horizontal from where I am to see if it determines that 6 foot is perfectly horizontal from my position, or if they converge, maybe something like that.
Yeah. What do you reckon? Like Jesse Kozlowski said, the water level drops away from the horizontal. Do you reckon there's a table of all of those numbers anywhere? When Slice Bar Kane was doing his bending water level test, do you reckon anybody came up with any individual drop numbers for those 1,600 meters?
Well, I would presume that they measured things and recorded their measurements, so we could probably find that. I didn't know they did tests.
Ooh, Slice Bar Kane?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking hilarious. You get it? It's on video on his channel. Bug.
Yeah,
He's going to be doing another one.
Really...
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Let's hope he's sorted it out what level is for the next one. Leaky.
How did he mess up level for the first one?
Do you not know? Larry Scott told us.
No,
he couldn't.
Said I'd...
Yeah, he said he put the end of the water level at a higher elevation, so he couldn't get the water to get to the end of it, and it was leaking all over the place. It was a catastrophe, really. You shouldn't give people who have never used practical tools the job to do that sort of stuff. But he says he's going to do it. He's going to do it again. Come this summer, I think, or it was meant to be last summer. He might be doing it again this summer. Hopefully we can get him over there to help Rumpus out and do it at the side of Rumpus's as well, and he could show the drop like Rumpus's. I bet you're looking forward to that, aren't you? You want to get a few of the boys down there, because that drop that you're after, and Jesse Kozlowski said that it can be measured. You get him to do that. We'll see if we can have a look. I've got a measuring rod. Should be a good year. So the tests are a good idea then, you think? We should all be testing whether level is a straight line on a horizontal plane, like I say, or whether it's what is it you say?
It conforms to the surface of the Earth, which is
level is the surface of the Earth. That's not
equidistant from the surface of the Earth. Yeah, which means it will curve with the surface.
Level will curve with the surface.
Correct.
Wow. So you'll say it's not a straight line on a horizontal plane, but it actually curves with the surface. You know, like if the surface is a mountain, are you saying that level will curve with the mountain?
That's not the surface, Bev.
What, the mountain isn't the surface?
Correct.
Oh.
The mountain is on the surface. It is not the surface.
The surface of the mountain. No. The elevation of the mountain, when you put your measuring rod on the thing, you put it on the surface of the mountain. Is that what you're talking about?
When we're talking about the surface, we're talking about the crust of the Earth.
Crust.
The crust?
The crust.
Where's the crust? Where's the crust?
Like a loaf.
Mike, really?
Yeah. I want you to show me the crust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's the
Show
crust?
us the crust.
At? Can you point at that and go, that crust there? Please. Otherwise, it seems like another one of those 8 empty statements that you say.
I would say the crust is where it meets the water. The sea.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
Is that crust like pizza? Are you a flat earther?
Yeah.
Trigger warning.
Might as well just go to the sea then if you're going to go that close with the crust. Just start at sea level.
The crust. Oh, is that the outside bit of the gobstopper?
You like gobstoppers, Bev?
Well, I'm just wondering, is it the outside or the bit just inside the outside?
It's the outside.
Oh, it's the very outside. Like we said when we were talking about the mountain that we were putting our measuring rod on to measure the elevation changes.
Let's say, just like spherical geometry, we're talking about the 2D surface of a sphere.
2D surface?
I know, crazy, isn't it? That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it's
Trigger
fucking
warning.
mental. You do
Trigger
realise
warning.
2D is a plane.
It is mental. Trigger warning, big time.
Yeah, 2D is a plane surface, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to conflate
is
a plane surface with I don't know.
you.
Wait, what? A plane. You are a flat earther.
Everybody is.
Yep, he's the only flat earther here.
2D. Literally. 2D. Surface.
Crazy, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. You don't realise that a 2D surface is a conceptual surface. Doesn't exist in reality, right? But you think that's the surface of the mountain. You think a mountain is a 2D surface.
But you do realize that the majority of the things you talk about from Euclid are dealing with two-dimensional shapes, which you say don't exist in reality.
The concepts, yeah. But not in book 11, that's solid geometry.
You're conflicted, Bev.
Why?
Well, you said 2D doesn't exist in reality, but you think
doesn't.
that Euclid exists in reality, but it's talking about 2D, which doesn't exist in reality.
Book 11.
It's a huge confliction.
Book 11.
Paralogism.
Book 11 is solid geometry, solid 3D.
Yeah, but what you're
3D.
Yeah, you things like that are not book 11. Bev.
3D alpha.
That's the axioms you're using aren't from book 11, Bev. You've got a problem.
The axioms are from the beginning of the geometry. They survive all the way through
2D. 2D. This is shocking. You're using 2D.
You don't think the axioms are 2D, do you dick?
You sound really stupid now.
Just said 2D
Alpha,
doesn't
you
exist
sound
in
really
reality,
stupid.
but his Euclid,
Oh my
all his
God,
Euclid
I don't
stuff
care.
is 2D.
Really
So it
gross.
doesn't exist
It's
in
not our
reality.
problem if you don't understand.
Holy cow,
You don't
Beth, this is a
understand.
problem for you. You're conflicted.
Euclidean 3 space, amigo. X, Y, and Z. That's reality. That's geometry.
This is terrible, Beth. You're going to have to go back to the drawing board and stop talking about Euclid's elements in the
Wow.
early
You're
stages.
embarrassing yourself.
Yeah. This is really bad. Are you having a
Badly
breakdown, Alpha? Are you sure you're all right? Are you is it because mathematics and geometry state that a horizontal line has zero slope, and now you're sort of rebelling against mathematics because of that? You're like just sort of lashing out. I'm sorry if mathematics hurt you, Alpha.
No, I'm fine with math. Math works fine on the globe, Bev. The conflicted one now, unfortunately, is you.
Why? Go on. What's the conflict? Go on. Name
Well,
my conflict.
You're using definitions that Euclid was talking about two-dimensional space, and then told everybody that two-dimensional space doesn't exist in
No,
reality.
the definitions
so which
get...
means Euclid doesn't
Dude,
apply to reality, which is terrible
book
for you.
11.
Oh,
Book 11.
Absolutely terrible.
Book
Holy
11
cow.
is
Bev,
3D geometry. I know
to
it must be tough for you because you didn't learn that much. You
some
stopped learning.
Gobstoppers
Did
so I can
you?
get them
Have you
sent
ever
over
read
to you?
any Euclidean geometry,
Or a
Alpha?
binky?
Alpha.
Binky?
Alpha.
I can get that sent over to
Alpha.
you.
Alpha. Have you ever read any Euclidean geometry at all?
I have, Bev.
Right.
Do you want
Did
a
you
binky?
get? Did you get all of the way to book 11? Or did you stop
Bev,
earlier
are you
than
only
that?
talking
Did
about
you not
book
get
11?
there?
Did you only talk about book 11?
I'm talking about book 11
really
now.
thought
Yeah, that's the
the
3D.
definitions-
You learn
I
about the
definitions
2D
you were talking
conceptual
about
geometry
were in
in
book
the
11.
earlier books, and that's where your learning
Terrible.
comes from.
Absolutely
And then you
terrible.
apply that learning to book 11
Oh
3D geometry, i.e. in reality.
This is
You can
embarrassing for you,
learn how the
Bev.
concepts work
This
in
is
the
terrible
earlier
for you.
part of it.
Yeah, Mike, it's terrible for Bev. I agree.
I know it's so bad
Absolutely.
for you, Alpha. I
It is
can't
so
believe you're so
awful.
stupid. It's not our problem that you can't
Absolutely.
understand. You know, it's not my
Mike,
problem that you can't
when somebody
understand. How
says
do you not
B and F and
understand?
you
It's
circle
so
and don't know they said B and F, that
embarrassing.
was embarrassing for you as
You're
well.
so
Oh, dude, this is getting
Absolutely
fucking old.
embarrassing.
embarrassing. Mix it up for us. Mix it up for us more, Alpha.
That's bad.
No,
Gone roboty again.
Yeah, super bad.
Alpha, when are you going to actually man up and let everybody know that you haven't got a fucking clue about Euclidean geometry?
No, Bev, I just exposed something of you that you hadn't thought about before.
What, that you didn't realise that Euclidean geometry made it into 3D? In
No,
book
I
11?
realized that. What you're talking about is much earlier when he was talking about 2D and you're
What
using
was I
those
talking about? No, the
definitions.
sphere is definitely in 3D, and the planes perpendicular to planes
definitions
is
that you
definitely
use.
in 3D. I don't know why you keep doing this, Alpha. It's like you've got a really bad idea, you have to keep talking over people. It's
Bev
shocking.
uses two-dimensional definitions and says two dimensions don't exist in reality. Shocking, embarrassing.
Everywhere that I travel, I always enter my curvitude into my longitude and latitude calculator. Always. I was just checking out this Jesse Kozlowski, since you keep bringing him up, the surveyor. On his pinned Twitter, he has this crosshair of a building at 616 feet elevation, etc. I see why you like him so much.
He's massively model obsessed.
Yeah.
It's like...
Alpha, obviously you don't know anything about Euclidean 3 space. Have you ever heard of Euclidean 3 space, Alpha? Are you still here?
It's one of those questions he doesn't like to answer.
I know.
That's when
I guess,
did you see that tweet that he put on there? Since he's the Kozlowski.
No, Jesse blocked me on Twitter.
It's a picture taken on December 18th, 2018 through a telescope of a Trimble 1/2 S7 total station setup level. And it's amazing. Like, you know, I'm sure he zoomed in and out until he got the building to verge to his already presupposed math, but
You can't zoom
amazing
in
how
and
we-
out. You can't zoom in and out on a Trimble.
Ah, I see.
And that's right, in it, Alpha. There's no zoom on a theodolite. Or auto level. Oh, that's right. You wouldn't have a fucking clue. You've never done anything. Was he gone? That's good.
Yeah, he melted down and then he ran.
Yeah, there's a lot of projection at the end. That's the whole cog disc right there. It's all right.
That's how long's he been in here? Because he's been in here most of the day. And if Alpha's one of the best that they've got, who absolutely knows nothing about anything to do with the subject, level, straight lines, circles, Euclidean geometry, he knows nothing about anything, so...
Maybe his shift was up and the next show will come when they clock in.
I don't think there is. There's
The
not
homie
many.
Don was in here. The homie Don was in here a while ago.
Yeah.
Never said a word.
Yeah. I noticed he's been in here learning, watching. But at least we sorted out that there is a test that we can have to establish whether level is horizontal or not. It's good. It's a good start. Seeing as we're getting the proof sorted that...
What was the test?
The test to decide whether level is horizontal or not.
Right. What was the test?
What do you mean? Can you think of a test?
No, I thought you said you came up with a test.
No, we've got a shared straight line segment test. Proposition 1, book 11. Look it up. It's a proposition to show that all points of a straight line lie within a plane. Proposition 1. Book 11, solid geometry.
It says book 1, proposition 11.
Mm-hmm.
Alpha had his drawing with the same elevation, 2 points at the same elevation, that he's just drawn a curved line between, and he thinks that's actual proof
Yeah,
of what
well,
the ground's.
according to the new definition that somebody's wrote into a water level, and the point in the middle, the device of water level between the 2 points establishes a horizontal plane, and they've added the bit in that the bit in the middle of that line is horizontal. So it makes it a bit hard for him to have that hump. Because if it establishes a horizontal line or plane and the midpoint is also horizontal, that goes to show that the entire line is horizontal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all you've got to prove is geometrically that the midpoint is also on the same horizontal.
How would you find the midpoint?
Measure it.
It's just funny that they put something like that in there without ever using one, when
Yeah.
you would never use a midpoint.
All points. Yeah. I think that's what they mean by the midpoint. All points on that line.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'd have that.
Sounds better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe we could get them to change
Horizontal at
that
all
on
points
Wiki.
along that same- and horizontal to all points along that zero pressure state.
Yeah, see whether we can get Wiki to do that. Change the midpoint to all points.
That's what they say in physics anyway, in fluid mechanics. Or would they be physics deniers? I don't know. It's weird.
Geometry, mathematics, and physics deniers, I'd have to say.
Right.
But I'd say already obfuscators at best. I mean, like,
I'm not as good at math as you are. I was interested if you ever felt like working it out, not for my sake, but any sake. So there's a whole 8 inches per mile square for the curve, right? But how does that translate to what you would lose in a straight line? Is it the same number? So if I were to build a 1 mile bridge again, let's say bridge, due to the curve of this,
just get a canal.
Right.
Canals are much easier.
What do you mean?
In order for you to explain what you're talking about, use a canal. Because you can fill that up with water. The canal. Right now.
No.
Yeah.
I want to know about so if I needed a building material or something, or if I wanted to measure my air miles, right? Because driving, you're going over terrain, right? So air miles in a helicopter over a curved surface, how much I'd have to change as I go further, what a mile is, because I would lose length while going over this curve. Is that still just 8 inches that I would lose for every mile? So then when my air miles read 5 miles, I'd really be 4 miles and 40 inches short.
Yeah. See, the problem is that all distances from A to B are measured horizontally. In reality.
Yeah. No, I agree with reality. I'm trying to point out to somebody who doesn't get it, right, that you would lose. Like you would. So if I took a piece of duct tape and I measured it to be 6 inches long, and then I stuck that duct tape to the basketball, right? And I tried to measure again while looking at it from the side, 6 inches. I would land I'd be 2 inches short. Did you see what I'm saying?
You're putting duct tape on a basketball.
Well, just to put it in a small term, right? So in a small setting, right? So when you curve the line, what I'm saying is that when you curve the line, you're losing length.
Yeah, they can't understand what a straight line is, man. They're never going to understand anything like that. You know what I mean?
Well, they should understand that they would be losing. You're measuring miles in statute miles and feet and inches and whatnot. You'd be losing distance as you travel further. You'd be losing. You wouldn't be able to navigate and measure where you're going using the
There is a
same.
guy you could. Sorry, there is a guy you could talk to about that. He did say that he drove a straighter than a short line distance.
Yeah. If you can get to talk to him.
Yeah.
That he'd be the best person for you to have a word with.
Yeah.
Why even beg the question for them, though? You know, that's their model. That's their bullshit. Leave them with it.
Oh yeah.
Basta.
No.
Did not understand. Not my problem.
You've been replaced,
Shout out.
Buster. Skeptical is
That's
taking
right.
over.
He's auditioning. Backing singer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, exciting day today. I knew that this week it'd be crazy week, and just wait till when we start putting these proofs together. I mean, we've already been doing it. Everybody should already know, like, basically what a proof is and where they come from, all of that sort of stuff. Now, as he's just said today, all we need to do is to have a test to prove or to show whether level is horizontal or not. We've got our tests and we know what the geometric tests are and that we're doing. And we've done one to show that a shared straight line segment shows that it is a shared straight line segment, and you can indeed extend that straight line with the principles of the shared straight line segment.
You say that in a very shadowy way. Have you not published this test yet?
We did it live.
Oh.
But obviously, because we're doing it live, I can't record it because I'm out there at the side of the thing. So everybody that was in here had a chance to record it and ask questions and do all of that. But it's more about the because it's only cheap, right? It costs £100 for you to get your water level, and then you need somebody else to share the straight line segment with. Then you can extend it. But you have to have the understanding of the principles that are involved in it. And they're geometric, and a lot of people deny geometry and stuff like that. So do you think you could devise a test to show that a shared straight line segment is possible?
Me, I think, I think that to prove that level is horizontal, yeah, I think it's super easy to prove.
Well,
just
that's it then.
Just hold. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a multitude of ways you could go about it. I mean, just using, like you said, basic, you could a compass and a level. I mean, you could just go anywhere and prove it. You could fly through the air and it's just.
Could you prove it to yourself?
Yeah, I've had it. It's already been proven. I've proved it to myself. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Now, could you prove it to someone else?
If they won't run away, yeah. If they don't run. Yeah.
What about if they close their eyes?
Right. If I make them hold their eyes open and look, yeah, long enough for sure.
Nah, I don't think you can. I think there's certain paralogisms that make people unable to see that. Have you ever heard of the Bridge of Asses?
No.
It's a proposition within Euclidean geometry that was the sort of the end point of your journey. If you couldn't work that bit out, geometry wasn't for you. And it's pretty early on, like proposition 4, 7, something like that, book 1. If you can't understand that, that was the end of your journey.
Yeah, I mean, I've come to the end of journeying with people for sure. Yeah. I just can't do it.
The end of people's journey within geometry is what I'm saying. So
just respecting them as a human, and I just don't respect them enough to even keep going with them. I guess they would.
No, it's just the concepts of it. They can't get it. They can't understand it. They can't see what it is in order to gain an understanding from geometry. So therefore, progression is you are unable to progress through it at all. And I think there's
right. So you're saying could I perform a test that would? They need consensus. These people, they're just I don't know what's wrong with them. They need consensus. They need somebody to tell them that. Somebody that I don't know. They need everybody to tell them what to do.
I don't. Yeah. See, that's the point. I don't think it's you are able to prove anything to people that don't want to see a proof, and that proof would destroy their entire model. So they're not going to see it. They're never going to see it.
Yeah, because they don't have an objective reality. They don't. Right. I understand what you're saying. There is no such thing to them. There is no such thing as proof. It's just evidence. It's not proof. There's no such thing as proof.
And there will never be enough evidence to contradict their model.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, so you're asking if I could create some experiment that would do that to them? No, I mean it's maybe I don't know, man. Maybe maybe it just takes time for it to settle into their head. I don't know. I'm thinking specifically of my brother-in-law who just loses it. He just you can just see it in his eyes. Like he doesn't look well. You know, looks like a broken human.
Yeah, we call that the nutsack. Nutsacked.
He tiptoes around with other things, like just fearful that I'll call him out, because I privately had many hours of discussion with him, and I was like, listen, man, I can't respect you if you can't accept anything anymore. You know, nothing's real. I hear you, like, you know, and you know, he just tiptoes around like any of the subjects. It's kind of nuts. And I told him, I said, listen, man, I promise, I won't say anything in front of anybody. I'm gonna leave you alone. You can have your religion, fine. But yeah.
Yeah, some people just can't talk about certain things, and you're best off just not. I think everybody around here knows that. Some things are a trigger, aren't they?
Yeah, I said to him on Memorial Day, he was saying something like you know, I don't know, political, like you know, Amazon is you know, doing this and they're doing these tricks to do this, and I says, well, I said the reason you know that they're doing this is because they showed all their taxes, so now you're calling them. But if they showed it all, they apparently they didn't show any criminal act. He said, no, there is. I said, well, just show me the evidence and I'll believe it. If you just, you know, no problem. He said, well, I just believe it because they show. I said, just show me evidence. And then he just loses it. Well, you think the fucking Earth is flat, so it's like, all right, man. I'm just saying, show me evidence. You know, not show me evidence that there's this big bad guy who just straight up stole your money. You know, like, you know, lost it. Yeah, but
tough.
What can you do? Alpha was okay. He seemed like an okay person to talk to.
You've not heard it for like 12 hours straight.
No.
Just constantly around and around, and him never answering questions, making statements, calling your names, saying you've said something and you didn't hear what he said, so he's not going to repeat it, and he's never answers any questions ever. He makes statements but then never makes a qualifier to it.
Yeah, still a nice tone, not too insulting.
Never getting anywhere, making claims about things, statements, shadow giants, and not like old shadow giants. The new ones, the ones that we've proved are liars.
Yeah, I didn't like his. The only thing I didn't like was then his. Suddenly, everything was on you or anybody around you. You need to independently show your own tests. I mean, I'm just saying, apples to apples. You're using somebody else's test, an experiment. You know, but suddenly you have to. I just don't like when everybody says, "Well, what have you personally done?" Which is, you know, understandable, but. Do we really need everything to be independently verified to that level? If you, I don't know.
Well, we did when we did what we did it for ourselves. That's why we didn't bother publishing it, right? We did it live. So we know what we did, and we know all of the principles of what we did, and we kept it all for us, because that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do it for us first. Well, that was then, last year, and now we've got coming up this year. So we've got the redo. for the test.
Yeah, you did it for even if you didn't, even if I understand that's pretty commendable. It's like you did it in a more pure fashion and didn't dirty it up with having to record it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to do it again, and it'll be up for recording. Anybody can come and watch and do all of that stuff again.
Mm-hmm. But the whole infamous gyroscope with Jaren and the ether drift, blah blah blah. Conundrum.
Yeah, ours is just a geometric straight line test. That's all ours is. We're not trying to prove anything about the shape of anything, but we're just trying to show a Euclidean, realizing those Euclidean propositions and proofs within the Euclid book. Can we do it in reality? Is there a link between Euclidean geometry and reality? That's what we're trying to show people.
Yeah, I wasn't saying. I was saying more about with that test the way it was sabotaged. That's what I meant. That by letting these by being nice, I guess, and letting other people stand next to them, and then all the hell that came from that. That's what I meant. Not about what they were trying to prove, but by just letting those people near them didn't allow them. Now you have to answer to them and then go reperform. Then answer to them again, then go reperform. And people quote it. People who don't know anything, they say, "Oh, I saw that thing on Netflix," and I hadn't even seen it forever. I think it's like 2 or 3 years old. I just watched it like a couple weeks ago to see what everybody was talking shit about.
I've still never seen it.
Yeah, it's super dumb.
Yeah, well, I think people that are out to try and prove the shape of the Earth is ridiculous, because you can measure the shape of things, the difference elevation changes. You can triangulate positions in reality, right? So you can do that shit in reality. There's no problem about that. Measuring stuff is the thing for geometry. That's what geometry does. It's the number in space, isn't it? The lengths and angles all relating to triangles. So what is the shape of something is obviously geometric.
Yeah, I mean that's how. I mean, I'm not a math whiz or a geometry expert, but that's of course I'd imagine that's how everybody. That's how I got there. It was like, man, it's not about anything but geometry. That's what proved it to me. So they go hand in hand for sure. Other people need stories. What's the one guy? Awar or something? Awar, something like that. The video where it's all a story. It's very nice 6-hour story, but that like got people. Like I said, fine, here, if you're done with, you don't want any more proof, just check out this fantasy bullshit. And then that got them, and they were like, I'm on board now. I'm like, wait, what? If evidence didn't do it for you, you really needed a story.
I don't know. I've not seen that either. I've kept away from all sorts of other videos and stuff. So is that what's that?
It's a story about it's a story. And it's a very well done story, about then you can map out the moon, and you can do this, you can see these orphans, and it's it's a pretty well known video though. And it shows yeah, you'd have to just sound. I can't even remember. I saw it a long time ago, but yeah, people like some of the stories. Then there's another You might, again, you wouldn't know it then if you don't pay attention to this stuff. There's another woman, what's her name? The Friar. She's a storyteller, but people like her. Like, talks about, what does she talk about? Pretty much etymology, like where the words come from and how they're connected to a past and how they're still used today. So the past couldn't have been that far away, and then tying it to modern day languages. It's just a whole thing.
Words are the true spells, and how you confuse people with wizardry.
Right, and that's kind of what she gets into. Is showing. I mean, here's a simple example that she's trying to find the North Pole. Right? How do we get to the North Pole, or where's Eden and the Garden of Eden? And she's saying, well, if you take the etymology of Sweden, right? So then you would say it's southwest of Eden. So then Eden is to the southwest, and that leads you again back to the North Pole. So she's, there's just a small example. I say southwest of Eden. I meant, yeah. So right, Sweden. Yeah.
Has been a good night.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I might go hit up the gym or something. Oh.
I think next week, I guess we've been, I don't know, anybody else think of any other topics for next week other than going over surveyors, globe surveyors? Might be good to go over the bridge again.
The surveyors, they measure slope.
Well, there's two different types, really. Well, I think a lot of people get confused about that.
Well, I never heard of the Jesse Kozlowski, but yeah, he seems to be very adamant about the curvature of the Earth because his pinned tweet from 2018 is his curve proof. So, and it's in Wildwood, New Jersey.
Jesse Kozlowski said you could get 3 coplanar points measured across a bridge. And bam, there's the curvature of the Earth. Radius. From 3 coplanar points. And
I don't know what coplanar means, but
it means that they're on the same plane.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
You can get 3 coplanar points on a level surface to show him the radius.
Yeah, I mean, if there was this radius, you should be able to measure it at any 3 points for sure. Not all of a sudden drop off like a step at whatever it is, 5 miles. All of a sudden you can't see something like that. The Earth is not a set of stairs. Maybe, hey, I don't know, but it's not a set of stairs. You should be able to measure it from any 3 points.
Model Affliction Monday we'll be coming back with, and I don't know. What do you reckon? Should we go over the bridge again? That was a fair bit ago, right? Does everybody know about that? Would it be worth going back over it? See whether we missed anything? Remember when we did that over at... We did it over at Ranty's, didn't we? And then we've got the Larry Scott. Rakia video.
Yeah, we got to go over that one. We've been saying it now for a long time, and that's a good one.
Yeah.
The cement one.
Yep.
That should be next, I think. That's that people are going to freak over that one.
I'll be sure to listen in on Monday, guys. I'm gonna head out. Hey, thanks for talking to me.
All right, yeah. No problem.
All right. See you, brother.
See you later. Ooh, I had a super late one last night. So yeah, it's about time we did Surveyor Week, since the idea at the minute is to see whether we can come up with a test to show whether levels a straight line or not. Or not.
We could unclamp the hump again.
We could obviously get the all of the other guys involved in it as well, because I mean, like, I'm guessing if you could try and find out whether it's straight or curved, I mean, that means it goes for anyone, doesn't it? Anyone could get involved in that.
You've opened your mic, Bev.
Anyone could get involved in it. And we do have a modus tollens, don't we, to go with it. So that gives us a reason for the proof. Perhaps we should be bringing that back out again. How do you structure a proof? That's what I'm going to be working on.
Yeah, how do you go about getting your proof? Yep. I asked the new guy just the other day, yesterday I think it was, and he said, well, I have to see it. So I go to him, so if I show you a picture, that's enough for proof? He goes, no. Gotta see it, touch it. I go, oh, that was pretty easy, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Took him like 30 seconds.
Yeah, demonstrable.
Yeah. He had to see it and touch it with his hands. That's what he said.
Yeah, well, that's what we've got here, haven't we? Demonstrable, testable, repeatable, verifiable, unfalsifiable.
Yep.
But the different ideas of philosophy and all of that towards proof are a little bit strange, aren't they? A little bit different.
The moon is out now. I just filmed it. It's like a little sliver. Broad daylight.
We've not had anything to be able to see for quite a while. Right, so where do we go from here? Has anybody got anything else you want to talk about? Free for all Friday. I know Alpha took it all up and everybody's all bloody wondering what's going on. Alpha hogged everything. Talking about nothing.
Well, that was good to show the affliction, the model affliction. That was good. Obfuscation tactics,
Yeah. But again,
agreeing but disagreeing.
Yeah, they have this thing that that straight line from A to B has an elevation change to it. That's what they imagine. And then when they imagine that straight line from A to B has an elevation change, a horizontal line from A to B, they imagine that has an elevation change. They develop a hump in the middle and then call that level.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So level is a straight line that has an elevation change.
That's horizontal.
Yeah, the deviance from the straight line, elevation change. Yeah, see that in the chat there. I've got a load of those maps. Loads of them. You can get them from any city or any country. They're like that. Wally literally thinks they curve. Thinks you can see curvature in those elevation profile. Shocking. Oh, and see, Starcodder's been around. I've been out all day today. Is it? Has the chat been as active as usual? In the Discord? Seems like Starcodder, Wally, they never stop. Yeah. Right, it sounds like it's going quiet for a Friday night wind down. It's been a tough week. There's a lot of things for people to think about. Geometric implications of straight lines, horizontals. You should question yourself whether horizontals are actually possible on the globe model. At least not the geometric horizontal. That's what we decided last night. That's what Hex obviously has. Hex holds the geometric horizontal, and that's why he said there are none. But tonight, Alpha has no understanding of geometry. That he has the other concept of horizontal. And that is sort of allowed. But when you get these two different people together, then there will be a conflict, because they can't have the geometric horizontal and the other horizontal, and some of them don't even like conflating the two. Not many people like talking about it. It's a hard subject to talk about to anybody when you start talking about straight lines and horizontal basic geometry, because people don't think that they're smart enough to understand geometry. That's the worrying part, because it's pretty simple. I mean, all you need to know that is a straight line is a straight line. You can form a circle, and you can do wonderful things with that. That's it. That's about as complicated as it gets at a basic level. So, have we not got Buster to sing us out tonight? No. Anybody got any requests? And I can't do that one, the horizontal mix. I've not loaded it up. I have to load them up. So sorry, J-Ro. And I did start with True Level. Dead straight lines. We've not done that for a bit, have we? Okie dokie. Thanks for watching. It's been a fucking amazing week, this has. Go back to listen to a couple of the earlier ones. Logic. Geometry. Proof. Horizontals. Linking it to reality. It's been a really good week. Join us on Monday. I think we'll be having a go over the Model Affliction Monday, but it's the Model Afflicted Surveyors week. Should be good. Hope it's as good as this week. See you on Monday.
Balance and so much more. It's getting clearer all the time. All we see are all these dead straight lines. And show me what's in reality, and I won't compromise between the truth and lies. This is where I make my stand. Please don't take me to your la-la land. It's all about geometry. All we see is horizontally. Show me what's in reality, and I won't compromise between the truth and lies. Show me what's in reality, and I won't compromise between the truth and lies. Reality is all I see. I don't need your fantasy. I've had enough of sophistry. I'll find my own philosophy. Reality is all I see. I don't need your fantasy. I've had enough of sophistry. I found my own philosophy, and you can't bend reality into what you think. Your cock deceased. Something's happening to me. Don't remind me of how things used to be. We don't need no cigar.